Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to One Night to our Ramblings, where I have been gone for 2 weeks, I think it is. And I have probably a lot to talk about, or maybe I don't have all that much, considering there really isn't all that much toy news. But we'll get into all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in today. 27 of you watching right now, so please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Also, please, it's in the description. Head on over to the click the little link for the Black Friday giveaway. Watch the video, put your name in, follow the instructions. It's not that hard, although I've already seen people have a hard time putting their name in. So I'm just going to be highlighting the name as easily as possible. We'll get into that in a minute. You would think after 4 years of doing this, it wouldn't be so difficult. But I'm hoping Ed will be there in the chat so he can yell and scream at people that can't follow directions if somebody wins and they try and say that they won. So anyway, be sure to head on over there. We'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Like I said, thank you guys for joining me. It's a short weekend for most people. I know there's a lot of people that do have to work on the holidays. Guys like Tony's Figs, they don't always get the day off because, unfortunately, people still get sick. Doctors that work at nursing homes or nurses, doctors probably get it off. The nurses, the aides, they don't get it off. Some people that work in retail don't get it off. But hopefully, everyone will get some time to spend with their family if they actually like their family. That is. Ed says, I'll be there. Gotta keep that fucking Tony honest. Well, Tony will be on the show because I thought it went over so well last year having him on. I said, hey, are you working? And he said, nope, I'm off. And I'm like, awesome. I want you on. And if Tony wins this year, Tony wins. All right. I can't change it. He should have won twice last year. He was gracious enough to let it bypass, and then Plastic Fantastic was gracious enough, along with my buddy Greg, who also offered to 3D print him the Wolverine. And again, you can look at everything that's going to be given away in that video that I did. There's 13 different prizes that you can win, and it will tear up. And once again, you have to be there. But like I said, why am I going? I feel like I distract myself. I don't have to. I don't have to get this go off kilter. I'm literally doing this on my own. So anyway, this weekend, wow. So I finally decided to tear down the brick bar that has been it's just been a pain in my ass. I don't drink. The thing was 10.5 feet long, about 2.5 feet wide, and pure brick, tile, glass block, 3 layers of 1-inch particle board glued together on the top. On the bottom, I really should have done a video. I should have taken pictures, and I didn't. You can see the video if you actually go on. Oh, you can see the bar in the video, and you've probably seen other pictures too, on some of the pictures that I've taken. On the bottom, 2x4s through everything. So when you on the footrest, you wouldn't go through it. So much mortar that you could not believe. And of course, the brick that he used was the ones with the 6 holes or 8 holes in the middle. So mortar was all through every single thing. I thought I'd be able to kind of drill through the mortar, break it off. Wasn't happening. It was a complete disaster. And mind you, it's in the basement, so everything had to come up. It was awful. And actually, when I started taking the brick off, or the tile off, it came off really easy. I thought, hey, you know what? This is going to go pretty smoothly. No. Cutting through, because I couldn't just cut through the top of this glued layer because a circular saw isn't deep enough. And if I used a jigsaw, or what I ended up using cutting around stuff, the Sawzall, I can't cut across where there's brick, and that was glued down. Well, actually, some of it was glued down, and on the other half, it was mortared down. I ended up shattering everything, and luckily, Andrew helped me carry most of the stuff as much as he could upstairs. He actually enjoyed getting to use the sledgehammer. There's so much mortar dust on everything and everywhere. I found an Uno card. I found a King of Hearts. I found a Budweiser beer cap in the mortar. I found a business card that's, well, let's just say the area code was 810, and we haven't had an 810 area code where we're at for quite some time. We switched from 313 to 810 to 586, and 810 is way far out, and it's something in our area. It was a nightmare. And I thought I'd be able to kind of take it off in sections, worry about it later. No. And the mortar, it was so heavy. So I took 2 trips to work, which is about a half hour away, to dump everything in my work van, which I have a little transit. And now my work van is still loaded up. I need to take one more trip to dump it off. It was the fucking worst. And it's one of those things that I should have done. I should have done when we moved in, but we thought we were going to use it. I got it all down, cleaned all up, laid the tile, which, believe it or not, for the most part, I hope that because I have tile on both sides of it, that I'd be able to slip the tile in between it, that I had it lined up perfect. And for the most part, it worked. I just had to make a few adjustments, so I didn't have to rip off the whole other side. But unfortunately, these racks that work gave me, I either left the clips at work to level them or to put the size of them on. I either left them at work or I lost them. So I ordered some on Amazon, which went out for delivery this morning, and then said, something happened. Well, they'll be here tomorrow. So I can't do anything. And I still have more stuff to do. Anyway, that was the teardown of the bar, and I'll be so happy. There's so much more room. I can kind of put things away now and have some space. I don't have to be up here doing these reviews, which is absolutely killing me. Anyway, this is how I fill up 3 hours of time. Let's say hi to the chat, and oh my gosh, there is a lot of you right now. So you know what? Bear with me. So here we go. We have Same Time Toys. We have U.S. Combat Dojo. We have Cooking with Eric joining us. HK Viper. We have Ronnie Trick Shop. We have Krusty Old Crow jumping in here. We have Osro Dominus Toys. Sabir Del Norte. We have Memu Nestor, also known as Matthew, my moderator. We have Woody 222, the Figure Addict. I still remember some of your guys' names. There I am giving you that YouTube channel, or that YouTube link to go to for the Black Friday giveaway. We have Graph joining in here. Woo! GI Jetman jumping in. We have Menhuza, SCS Dog. We have Snake. Plastic Skulls has joined us. Woohoo! All right, Action Pigs, who I already mentioned. Hey, howdy, hey, all. We have Debo DNA joining in here. Snow Wolf. Astro. This is J Astro. I wish we could have the names back. I swear to God, if they switch this the day of that Black Friday giveaway, I'm going to lose my shit, and Ed will probably quit being a moderator altogether. As I already put him in charge of making sure we have everything proper. We have Nolan jumping in here. We have Machine Man. All right. Darth Burke. Ronnie Trickshot saying he always gets off. All right. Viper Scout is in the house. Whew. All right. Cages Customs. I said Plastic Skulls. I always get Plastic Skulls and Plastic Fantastic mixed up. Although I know Plastic Fantastic. Like personally, I actually met the guy. All right. Unlike a lot of other people, I don't highlight any of these. So I just have to scroll through everyone as I try and get to everyone. As I like to say hi to as many people as I can remember. Let's see here. Is there anyone else? Hard to believe that there wouldn't be someone else. We have Smog 17. I don't know where 78 was coming from, but it did come up. That's about it right now, huh? Oh, there is the Mr. Wonderful, one of the travesties. Hi, it's me jumping in the chat. We have Cooter's Garage, who I may or may not have met at our Assembly Required a couple weeks ago. We have Cal Shave, which is Cal Esther. Trying to remember all these is awful. Action Figure Addict jumping in here. Haven't got to everyone. Pretty much hit everyone. There is just Jeff jumping in. Ooh, all the way to the end. Look at that. I think I hit everyone. If I missed you, I apologize. Seeing the little apps is kind of weird right now. So once. All right. So, why I skipped last week? Well, I just got back from Assembly Required. I had driven 9 hours the day before. To say that the past 2 months have been a grind with doing the channel, and I don't mean in an awful way, but all the reviews from all the stuff that Operation Monster Force dumped on us, all the stuff that Hasbro dumped on us between Marvel Legends, and obviously G.I. Joe, doing the lives, going to Ohio for training, doing the punkathon for 36 hours. It was long. It was draining. Obviously, going to Assembly Required. I really wanted to talk about Assembly Required. I knew I'd have a little chance to talk about it on Tuesday on Circle of Jerks. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to skip. And I apologize to anyone that was waiting. I really should have put out a community tab letting people know that I wouldn't be on, because I know people do wait. And people are excited for the show. They want to hear about the show. And I didn't do that, and I should have. But I think most people understood. I hope they did. Matthew probably didn't. I know he shot me a little question like, why'd you take off? I think Matthew waits for Monday because he needs something. Sean Forrester jumping in, who I did meet also, and does amazing. This guy does amazing customs of a custom of crossing over classified with Transformers. And he says to me, he goes, I know you don't like Transformers. Or I think he said, I know you hate Transformers. Oh, I don't hate Transformers. I just hate talking about Transformers. The pictures he showed me were amazing. He has the Seekers done, and they're all like classified, armored up. Megatron, Cliff Jumper. I always remember Cliff Jumper because I like them more than Bumblebee. Awesome customs. So I just want to say that. I know I mentioned it on Tuesday. So MCR jumping in here. Your MCR and then Mazda right after. It makes it look like it says MCM, and I think that's why it's confused me in the past. Oh, Viper Scott says, I don't understand. I'm here. Entertain me. I know. Dude, honestly, you're welcome. Like, it was really cool to meet you. I thought you were Tripwire at first because I'd never seen what Tripwire looked like when you came up to me. um, but no, it was great. And again, you were one of the people that I did the video for, and the reason why I pushed it out on Friday night instead of waiting till Saturday to do it is I didn't want someone to be like, "Oh, great to make a video," and then it's not even, the show's not even on Sunday. You said you watched it, and you said, "You know what? I live right down the street. I come down here for work. I've never been here. I'm going to make the trip down." So it was awesome that actually worked out. And then Beardy McBeardison jumping in here. Yeah, so that's the reason why I skipped last week. I have been over the past 3 years. There's not many people in this community that I can say have probably been more diligent about missing less time than I have between this show and then was Thursday with a friend and Punks on Film when we did that, to being full-time Thursday with a friend, and then going into Circle of Jerks. I believe I'm the only one that's been on every single Circle of Jerks. And it's a grind. I mean, no one really cares, to be honest. I fully understand that. Like I said, they just really want to be entertained, and that's what I try and do. But I got to get out of my head that I am allowed to take time off when I just need it. And it was such a grind. Again, not everyone does all the reviews. That's on me for my choice. But doing that, it took its toll. And then I'm like, man, I said last year I had to mentally prepare for the Punkathon. It was no different this year. Monday rolls around, and to me, it's like, after the Punkathon, even last week, like, man, I could have gone live. Just like when I don't feel good, and the few times that I've called in sick, and you kind of get up out of bed, and you're like, man, I should have went into work, and then you sit up and it hits you, and you go, that's why I didn't go. I probably called in 5 times to work, so it doesn't happen very often. I think I've called in, about 5 times in 24 years. For me actually being sick, not for other reasons. But I do need to take some time off for myself, for my own mental state. As you can see, it's already messed up. So anyway, the topic is going to be assembly required. It's going to be at the end of the show. What did I think of the show? Was it worth it? Did I like it? Would I go back? What would I do to make it better? I mean, I know Ed would like it because not as many people knew me as Joe Fest. I will say that for sure. We have GI Bro jumping in here. Look at those big arms right there, all ready to go. All right. So what did I get? If you haven't checked out, a lot of Skeletron stuff has come in. I can't say all of it because we still haven't got the Skeletron figure, but I did get the Jungle Wolf, the Gyro Wolf. I think I said it right. Matthew will tell me if I'm wrong. The Wolf Trooper, and then I also got the head pack of the Blood Wolf and the Red Weasel, which I put out today. And I try to show you guys off as much stuff as possible with using other brands, other properties with them. I used the Valaverse, a couple classified. We know their heads are different. The ball peg is different. I used an Operation Monster Force and a Marvel Legends. I'm sure, like, there was one person, thank you for answering some of our questions. I'm sure there'll be someone that will say, well, why don't you try this, this Marvel Legend? And why, like I'm not going to sit there and go through every single one of them. I tried to give you guys a good amount there. War Chest jumping in here. I like Ronnie trick shots. Yeah, bro. Are your biceps still smaller than mine? I really wish I really wish we had that on film because that was awesome. Uh, Beardy McBearderson says, maybe it's like the food and pronounced Euro Wolf. I don't know. Darth Perke says, I was hoping the Valor figure was going to burst into flames. That buck, I use that buck, and I use a lot of uh, the fake Valor buck, Duster buck, to put gridiron stuff on, and I always wait for it every single time to see if it will burst into flames, and it doesn't. One day, one day, one day it will burst into flames. But there'll be a little bit more of that, a little bit more on that going into. We'll talk about it during the show because they are going back up for. They're actually going up for sale for what they have. But I'm really interested. Really good figures, a lot of fun. And there is something that I have really noticed with a lot of these companies. Um, People talk about how much more detailed they are and how they're better than classified. And I really realize like so many of them are just repainting things over and over and over and over and over. And when you look at classified, because they're picking up lore from a lot from the Real American Hero line, there is so much more detail and little things in the classified because there's so many different bucks that they can use to swap, the swapping stuff, the plate carriers. You can't even really compare them. And I know people are gonna say, "Oh, that's just being a Hasbro show." No, there's like so many little details with each and every single one of those figures because there's no repainting of the face sculpts. There's not a bunch of army builders that just, repaint. That you can put a lot of detail into one figure knowing you're going to repaint it. Where classified Hasbro in general, they can just do as much as they want. So, Matthew says, if they weren't 38, I'd probably get some more. You are so full of shit, Matthew, because I know you already told us that you want more. And every single year in our mods chat, we hear Matthew go, I'm spending less money on toys this year. And Ed and I both roll our eyes. Usually this one will text each other going, Matthew's so full of shit. And then we'll see all the stuff that you get. I am probably going to get a couple more. But yeah, it is they fit those. Again, this is the same complaint that I've had with the Valaverse product when I was, buying Valaverse stuff. And I think it's cool that you give us a plain buck. I think that it is cool that you give us the accessories that go with that plain buck. But if I buy them together, it costs me more than a figure. I like the fact that you give us that. I like the fact that Skeletron gave us the head pack, but I'd rather you just give us the option to also buy a whole figure for whatever price it is, because now I have to pay for a whole price, pay for the price of a figure if I want them to look proper, and then I'm stuck with these extra accessories that I don't really need. So that's one of those things I wish that all these companies would do. I think it's great that you give us individual stuff. That's where I think people have a hard time understanding what I'm saying. It's great that you give us both the accessories. I can put them on my, on my classified, my Operation Monster Force, all that other shit. But give us all of it together too. So that's it drives me absolutely nuts. And Ed says, true story, every damn year. Well, third time's the charms. This year may be the year. She's gonna leave him this time. It's been a rough year. She's gonna leave. She's gonna leave you this year. I feel like when your wife finally leaves you, it's gonna be like that scene in True Romance where where he's so excited that he thinks that Arnold's wife has left. He's like, yeah, buddy, yeah, welcome to the club. That's gonna be added myself. We will not be the we won't be the most sympathetic people. I can promise you that. Crash jumping in here. Cage's Custom says those swarm figures are the. I can't say that. Uh, Sometimes I have to read the certain thing. I should read everything before I start. I highlight it. I understand you. I understand what you're saying. Um, but I don't want YouTube to come down on me. Anyway, that's enough on the Skeletron right now. What I do have coming up is I have a bunch of top fun retro stuff, 3D printed stuff that's coming. I have a whole box of stuff that he sent to me before assembly required. He's also sending me some stuff for the All Striker. He has a Black Friday sale going on, but unfortunately, it won't be until Black Friday at the earliest. So I'll probably try and get it done that day. It might not get done till Saturday. I'm assuming the sale will probably go all weekend. He sent me a message. I responded. I don't know if he's messaged back because I took a nice long nap, which I definitely needed, even though I haven't worked today. So I'm gonna have a bunch of that stuff coming. I'm gonna hopefully I was hoping to have a lot more of the basement done so I can start putting together the next 20 in the in my ranking videos or rating videos, not rating videos, because I think we'll have 100 within the first 6 months of 2026. I also need to do the retro. I want to do the vehicles. I'm also probably going to do some Operation Monster Force stuff. I'm going to be jumping in and out. I'm going to be doing more of those. I know a lot of people tend to like them. The biggest problem with those of me rating those figures and going through each one, spending 2 to 3 minutes, is that I don't want to be rating a figure that just came out. That was kind of the problem, doing the first 100, and then you're like, I could do 200 pretty easily, but we're not even there yet. And if I'm doing it, we're like right on top of the stuff, and you don't really have enough time to sit down with it, play around with it, and actually see if it's a good figure or not. But there's other properties that I'm pretty much all in on that I can do. So hopefully I'll be able to sit down, get that stuff done. I need to start going through my my figures of the year for G.I. Joe Classified, and also my others, because I have I collect so much stuff. So I have to go through all my videos. I start marking everything down, and then I start crossing off things that I know aren't going to be in my top 10. And once I get down to about 15, then I start ranking everything. Classified is hard enough. All the other stuff. And again, I have to make sure that it's stuff that was actually came out this year. Because, I mean, everyone does it differently. And, it's not like I'm getting paid to do this. So it's not like I have to be like, if someone yells at me like, hey, this figure came out last year. I'm like, well, okay, well, then don't watch it. Action figures sold separately. Jumping in here, great to have you. We got Grizzlehorn, who also just jumped in. Whoo. The retro of the year, those are the same. I know you don't like that, but retro is classified. They go together as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, so retro classified gets lumped in with regular classified because technically we really have no idea what the difference is, and they really don't. They're only pushing out, I think, 12 a year right now. I think that might change, but I'm gonna rate all of those. I'm gonna do the first 20. I think. I guess I got to see exactly how many there were, but anyway. No, according to Lenny, I literally asked him. We literally had this conversation that I asked him about it, and he said that the retro cards are part of the classified line. Russell Lemieux jumping in here saying Armor Coco. I don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of figures, man. A lot of good figures this year. What was that? HasLab and Legacy in the same category too. For top 10. Okay, for top 10, I do everything. So for the top 10 figures, I do everything that's classified. For the rating videos, those 20, 00 through 20 and 21 through 40, I do only the numbered ones. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back and do the retro ones. Then I'm gonna go back and do like special ones, which is the police officer, the Marine sniper, Snake Eyes from Fortnite. I'm gonna put all those, but there's really not that many yet, so we'll have to see. We have Bobby Wool jumping in here saying my favorite this year is Monkey Wrench so far. I don't know. Monkey Wrench he's very large. His sculpt is almost too good. I'm just kidding. Some people shouldn't be on the internet. ATKM interview. I don't need to hear someone whine and cry about people that get stuff too early and that they don't have a chance to do anything. I can just look online and see it. Grizzle, there are so many good figures this year. There are so many good figures, and again, that's why I break up the classified, because clearly G.I. Joe is my prime, the prime stuff that I collect. But man, everything's grown so much. This year's gonna be even, I think, harder for me to do an outside top 10 because of other Marvel Legends that I've started picking up, and then I kind of got to figure out, should I do Operation Monster Force since I'm all in on the Fresh Monkey Fiction? I can't say I'm all in because there's some of the Fresh Monkey Fiction / Big Bad Workshop stuff that I'm not getting, but for the most part, I've gotten almost everything. So I might break that up into its own top 10 of what came out this year. So it's still something I have to look at. Well, I'd have to see that then. I know when I asked Lenny, he specifically told me, and you and I had that talk. I don't care. All I know is when I do my top 10, I do the retro version and I do the classified boxes. I don't really give a shit. I'm not stressing out that much over it. All right. I'll just say that. Just Jeff said, Punk I could watch, but I won't. The new Monster Squad people thing, their pegs still suck. Huh? I don't know about your pegging. Hi, Ken. Hi, Ken. Hi, Ken. Hi. Is everyone hearing me say hi to Ken? Please. If you can hear me say hi to Ken, say I don't want anyone coming after me, and my moderators have to tell people to stop. Ken, okay, fine, I'll tune in, even if you don't say hello. I said hi to you. Please let everyone know that I said hi to Ken when he showed up. And look, we got other people here. We got Darth Burke saying hi, Ken. We have Nolan saying hi, Ken. Just Jeff says, so the older figures, you had the peg system, and anytime I'd plug the sidearm in, it would fall off if you looked at it the wrong way. And they changed that. They got rid of that on the side. So the holsters are no longer a peg system. I thought that's what you were talking about. The holsters are actually connected to it. Don't need to worry about it anymore. I'm so glad they fixed that. Todd C jumping in saying, hi all, I'm friends with Ken. You got Ed saying hi to Ken. We got Viper Scout saying hi to Ken. Cooking with Eric saying hi to Ken. Crusty O'Crow saying, oh shit, I ran across the house. Is Ken here? Hi, Ken. If you don't know, if you know what I'm talking about, Ed will fill you in. All right. Coda 514 saying, hi all, go blue. I know I've seen you before, but I have no idea what your name used to be. Thank you, YouTube. Ken says, you know I'm going to clip this into a YouTube short, right? Be my guest. Jetman said, hi, Ken. Rudy McBurderson said, I thought Punk was Lenny. You're not the only one. Whew. All right. The Black Friday giveaway. Here is another link to it. Don't go watch it right now, but make sure you head on over there and you put your name in there. Watch the video. I have specific instructions. They're the same well, they're actually different instructions than last year. And that's because YouTube has changed it. So whatever you're seeing right here, you see your like Toy Connection. This is at Toy Connections. That is the name that you put in. See Sean Forrester at Sean_Forrester. Right? Here we have Tony's Figs. When he puts his name in, Tony's_Figs. Now, if I know who you are, I'll just put Tony's Figs. I'll put War Chest, right? I'm the one that's putting it in. I'll put, Bitch Connections, right? I'll know who it is. But if I don't know who you are and you're not like someone who's always frequent, I won't always know, we might not know exactly who won. But go there, watch the video, put your name in. I will say this, you have to be in the US or Canada or have a mailing address that I can send it to. And yeah, I will ship it out to you. We have 13 things to give away, which is a lot. Which means if you win, do not start bugging me on Monday if I sent it out. I promise I will send everything out, but it will not be right away because it's going to be pretty damn expensive to send everything out. Also, don't start. I had people in the past when they won something be like, hey, could you not send this out during these times? Like, bitch, you won something. I'll send it out when I get around to it. I won't wait months. It'll go out within like December, but give me some time and don't start putting like when I can and can't send it out to you. You want it. All right. Yes. Did you send my shit? Yes. That's pretty much what I get. And it's always somebody who's not really part of the channel too. That's the funniest thing. It's always someone that's like hardly even in the chat, like in the chat at all. Someone that really like we have no rapport. It's not like it's not like Cage's Custom messaging me saying, hey, I was just wondering if you had a chance to send that out, just if I should be looking for it or not. There's always someone who's like, I've seen him like 3 or 4 times. HK Viper, everything is fucking going out DHL. Maybe I'll ship it all out DHL, and then we can have the race to see who's winning leaves Stowe, Ohio first. I don't think I do that to anyone. Yeah. Where's my free shit for working for you? You have a retro Snake Eyes. Remember that. All right. That thing's like $150 now. So I mean, I know that's $150 for like 3 years of work. Still more than Ed's gotten. Actually, that's not exactly true. It's not exactly true. Anyway, so let's see here. Sean Forrester says, Skeletron sent my figures out DHL last Tuesday. Won't get it for another 5 days. I hope they didn't. Mine went out FedEx. But I also ordered a good amount. If you order a lot, just so you know, like, if a bunch of stuff ships from BBTS or Pulse, if it's a bigger box, it will not go out DHL. It will not go out DHL. There's few things in this world that will make me roll my eyes a little harder than a big YouTube channel getting something that is super rare and hard to get than something like that. I saw this and I definitely rolled my eyes and I went, oh. Just saying. All right. And I have no inside knowledge. It's just like you can look at things and be like, but people say the same thing about me. They think I'm getting all this shit for free, and I'm definitely not. And I'm not saying you got it for free. I'm just saying it's not shocking that what his channel is, that he probably paid an arm and a leg to get it. He probably wasn't just a recipient of being lucky unless he bought like 30 or 40 of them. All right. So the Black Friday giveaway starts at 9, roughly 9. It probably go about an hour and a half. Punk's Pit will be at 10 o'clock or directly after, sometime around there. So if you're a channel member, you'll get to be on Punk's Pit. And there's a chance that if you win, I may even send those people a link. Although I don't know why you're not a channel member. Which does remind me quickly. I need to go back because we did get a new channel member, which was Sean Forrester. So quickly.
Welcome to the Creamery.
And I totally skipped over it. It's right here. Look at this. Sean Forrester. So thank you very much. Again, it was great meeting you. Really great to meet you. All right. That was my chat ad again. It's been so long since I've done this. It's been so long since I wrote down my notes. I want to say thank you to Mikey for doing a recording with me for Thursday with a friend. It was a lot of fun. Got to know a lot about him. There is no doubt about that. And then last week, I can't remember who I had on. I had Joe Hunter on, which was a really good show. If you haven't watched that one, please go watch it. Sometimes some people just have a very, very good command of being on the internet and doing lives. And I thought Joe did a wonderful, wonderful job. You can tell that he does a lot of lives. The content that he's doing is unique compared to what a lot of other people are. Pretty much this guy right here. Pretty much this guy right here. I do as basic shit as possible. I do my reviews, I do my lives, and every now and then I'll break away. Other people have way more imagination than I do. So check out his stuff. And that was a great interview. It's a great conversation. I hate saying interview. It's truly a conversation. Gun Bunny Customs jumping in here saying good evening, everyone. Whew. All right. So there's a HasLab going on. There's a HasLab going on. I almost feel bad for laughing at it. because it's just so sad. And right now it's sitting at 1,364 backers with approximately 2 hours and 7 minutes to go. The funny thing is, when I brought it up earlier today, before I started the show, it was at 1,357 backers. Who is still going in and backing this? And new, and I think it's going to crash and burn, as this might be the worst. This might be worse than the Riva lightsaber. Cookie Monster, we'll give Cookie Monster a pass because they weren't really sure exactly what they were doing at that point. They know exactly what they're doing, and I don't fully blame Hasbro on this. I believe this is a thing that's handed down by Disney, saying we want this, and you're going to do it. But this is sad, and again, I don't think it's shocking that it's done so bad. From the moment people saw it, they went, that price for what they're giving you for 3.75 figures that are this new mold, and this looks like it's supposed to be something that is an initiative that they want to work on 3.75 figures. Again, if you're going to do 3.75 figures that are highly articulated, I feel like there's a property that's done 3.75 that they were known for, that doing all new sculpts and new articulation might do fairly well. But if this is something that's handed down by Disney, and I fully do believe it was, just like the Riva lightsaber, it was bound to fail. You can only blame the Hasbro team so much. Now I know, before people say they should just dump those Disney properties anyway, they don't really sell or anything. That's not true, because Black Series and Marvel Legends, Marvel in general, and and Star Wars, they have so many properties. It's one of those things where they make a lot more money off it than just through those 6-inch lines. But this thing was never gonna. I mean, it was dead on arrival. And I think, everyone saw it and they went, whoa. And it came out of nowhere. There was no hype about it. It didn't seem like there was any focus groups going, hey, would any of you want this? No, that's okay. I mean, I would assume people would have just got up and walked out and been like, yeah, that ain't going to do nothing. So this is, it's sad. It's sad. I don't think this is the end of the HasLab, but I do think that with them doing like an Arctic Hiss, we're seeing them do these they're made to orders. Maybe they will transition the HasLabs into being true dream projects, as what they were originally supposed to be. And I don't have a problem with the Rattler being one. I don't have a problem with the Hiss being one, because at that point, you didn't know what it was going to do. I see that you guys are naming off every single 3.75, like the core, the A-Team. I would have backed an A-Team. I think I would have done for, let's see, if you gave me 260, you gave us the A-Team with BA's van, the Faces Corvette, Amy Allen and Tanya, and your tiers that you could hit were that you guaranteed, like as you tiered up, you could promise me that you would never give me a Stockwell, and that you would never give me who was the other guy that they brought in after this during Stockwell? Like a promise, we'll never do them. I would have backed it. And like give us a Colonel Decker, the Black Captain. I don't think anyone knows his name, but we all know Colonel Decker. I would have backed that. I would have backed that for sure. So, but yeah, this is just sad. And again, if it's in the license, and again, we don't know this, but we know how corporations go. We know how Disney can strong arm things. I definitely feel that, yeah. And I don't even know who wanted this. We have William C. Emery saying, "Hey everyone, sorry for being late. I don't feel like I've ever seen you before. I may be wrong, but I feel like it's been a while since."
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
No, I know Hasbro's never done A-Team, but they did a 3.7. There was a 3.75. There was a 3.75 A-Team when we were kids. Frankie Santana. No, he better not be in the A-Team. That's the whole thing. He better never be in it. Like, that would be a tear graph that he never gets made. All right. Yeah, so I don't even know what to say. So this is on Reddit, but supposedly Hasbro, and again, I can't confirm this, so I'm not going to sit there and say that it's true. I only have what you sent me, Matthew. I didn't do research into this, but supposedly, as they leave Pawtucket, they are dumping. Supposedly, Chris Cox has ordered that they just dump their archives into a landfill. That seems absolutely. That seems insane and asinine. Now, we've seen some insane asinine stuff before from Chris Cox since he's taken over. I don't get it. But I haven't seen anything to confirm it. I also have not looked. So that's the reason why I'm not really going too deep into it. If it starts coming up and we start seeing all that stuff, and then I'll definitely talk about it next week. But it's crazy to think, like, why would you dump all this stuff? This is your history. So, Brandon R jumping in. Maybe Disney will buy them after all. Maybe Disney will buy them all after it fails for Hasbro's cost and profit margin to put in theme park stores. Well, the molding hasn't even been done. Skunkworks Studios are jumping in here. I think Tony is living in the past. They've done it before. I know people who dumpster dive to save original Joel artwork. Yeah, but if you're talking about the archives of the history, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is stuff that they've kept. And again, I need to see more on that, but we'll see. I'm not saying it's not true, because it does sound like something that they would do because they're stupid. But again, when it comes out officially, there's too many people that jump the gun, and they have an agenda and they lie about shit. I actually caught a big YouTuber the other day that it seems like they kind of jumped the gun, and they said stuff because their crew told them, "Oh, I didn't get a refund on that." And then when someone mentions to them, "Hey, we all got our refunds," they didn't really want to acknowledge it too much. So, and it's happened to me before too. So I know certain people will do stuff like that. Shark Eyes jumping in here saying, "Shark Eyes has arrived and no one cares." All right. So before we get into anything else, the actual news. From my understanding, Hella Dope Toys is still in business. Did you answer me when I asked if you took the bar down yet? I feel like I spent like 15 minutes on it today. I feel like I spent like 15 minutes on it. Yes, the bar is down, but I'm not done with I'm not done because there's still stuff that I don't have to get into it. I still don't have stuff to get certain things up and running. So today was supposed to be working on it all day, and certain shit didn't get delivered by Amazon. Paul Morales jumping in here saying, hello, everyone. All right. Before Tony so rudely interrupted by not just watching, well, he might have watched and totally forgot. From my understanding, Hello Toys is still around. So if you have anything on order, if it is going to be canceled, according to Ted, he will refund the money. But he said, they may have to take a step back. There's been a lot of issues. There's been a lot of issues, and not between them, but with the health of one of them. So hopefully what we're going to see, Ed here is saying, yes, Hello Toys is still in business, hoping to relaunch around beginning of 2026. So I'm not really sure what's fully going on, but I did reach out to Ted because a few people have messaged me asking if they were still in business, that I have some pre-orders. Could you find out for me? Which I did. And I was just really, honest with Ted, like, hey, no one really knows, and people are starting to wonder. And again, it's fully understandable with what Dorkside did. That other Metro, I don't know what that other place was, and they worry, especially when people have gone like all in on Mythic Legions or the Four Horsemen stuff, and But he said that there's a lot of different things. He said he did refund a bunch of people money, but it's always it's on people's mind, and they do worry about it. Megalopolis. Every time I hear that, all I can think of is that one movie, with Will Ferrell and it wasn't Val Kilmer. I don't know. Megamind. I think I'm Megamind. That's it. But yeah, they're still around. And if not, we're still gonna have Moss Man commercials because Moss Man makes me laugh. This little guy right here, right, Moss Man? Yeah, that's right. We're not going nowhere. I'll be here for the future. I'm here just to because Tony thinks Tony thinks I creep him out, and I don't understand why. Tony, I love you. Let's hang out at Joe Fest this year. We're gonna go out and hang out, and maybe we'll have a beer together. I know there's Punk here. He don't drink, but you and I, we can have a drink. The fact that now, in my mind, Mossman sounds like Ted Darklaw, and that Punisher sounds like Legend series, it is stuck in my mind. It will always be there. I'm never gonna not hear those voices coming from those characters. But anyway, we're gonna get into some news. But before we do, as we just talked about it, we're going to hear something from Mossman.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Mossman, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy, like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice, and like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click, and then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in one business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, "Oh dang, mouse man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine." And I'm just like, "Well, I went to HeldUpToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like I opened up the box, I thought, "Oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice." But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, "Oh dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again." Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all saved. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, "Oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used." And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelldUpToys.com and like and subscribe, and then in the comments put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelldUpToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
Bobby Wool, yeah, he should have. But, that's on the guy that worked with Tuco Viper. He should have reached out to him. Eric, thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. Feels like that took so long. Thank you very much. And Beardy McBurdison says, "I was really thrown that Snowjob has such a thick Canadian accent." You and me both. All right, so quickly, Super 7. If there ever needed to be Frank Drebin in front of all of Super 7 with fireworks going off in the back going, "Nothing to see here. Move along. Nothing to see here," it should be this company. Thank you for being a big part of our story. They're closing both their locations down in California. I know one is in San Diego, not far from San Diego Comic-Con. So 2026, they will be shutting down. Spec actually sent this to us, and looking at the comments and seeing a lot of big YouTubers talking about, or a lot of people with a big presence, saying, "Oh, end of an era," "Oh, that's so bad," and fuck, someone has some fucking balls and say, "You know what? How about for the price you charge us, you give us good fucking product?" That's the reason why you're in a fucking shit state. Not because you don't have the properties, not because you don't have the ability to make good fucking products, because you choose not to. You choose to fucking rip people off, and because of that, your whole fucking company is going up in fucking flames. But every fucking YouTuber, because, "Oh, well, you know what? I can get fucking access with fucking Brian Flynn. He's always been nice." Well, fuck that, dude. Nice doesn't mean shit. And again, go read the fucking comments. No one, and again, I don't expect people to go in there and, be like, "Oh, good, I'm glad you guys are going out of fucking business and shit." Or you don't even have to say anything, but it just seems so weird that every single one is like, "Oh, end of an era. This was so fucking good. You guys do so," like, shut the fuck up. You guys are lying motherfuckers. And I'm sorry. I know this is what happens, and this is what happens when you get to know people in the industry. You're scared to criticize them, and because someone is great with being out front and talking to them. Now, of course, they fucking lie all the goddamn time, and that's the reason why you have to watch and vet who it is that you talk to so much. But this is fucking, I'm sorry. And again, you can go through and see the people that may have a big social media presence. They don't want to say anything negative. When in actuality, you should either say absolutely fucking nothing, or at least be honest and go, well, you know what? You did this to yourself. I don't like saying that because a lot of people are going to lose, a lot of people are going to, lose their jobs. And again, I know there will people that will come back and go, hey, you know what? It's tough in the industry. And it is. But it's been tough because of how they are. They have been selling stuff at a premium price with subpar quality. And everyone knows it, but nobody wants to say it. I've watched YouTubers kiss their fucking ass because, oh, well, they'll give us something that no one else will. Yeah, but they give it to you and it's shit. So what does it fucking matter? I mean, if it's a shit fucking product and you're going to charge that, be like some of us. And I'm not the only one. So I don't want anyone thinking like, hey, you're the only one that will fucking. I'm not the only fucking one. There's a lot of people that will. But I'm also not trying to get interviews with every fucking owner or designer or big YouTuber. Because that's not how I've built my fucking channel. But anyone that goes and looks at a fucking Ultimate and sees the now $65 fucking price point, tell me where that's worth $65. Tell me where it was worth $55. It never was. Yeah. Yeah. And Matthew says they've raised the Reaction Plus figures to 25. They're not worth 14. No. We'll be talking about the figures. The 4 they just put up for pre-order. I actually like all 4 of them. I refuse to buy a Reaction Plus G.I. Joe figure sight unseen because so many of them are trash. They should not look worse than what we had in the 80s. And what I mean by that is detail. I understand things have changed, but why is there less detail on the new Reaction figures than what we had in the 80s? It shouldn't be like that. And I think everyone knows that. Dirty Knife says they make all the good companies look bad. No, they make bad companies look good because their stuff is superior to theirs. The fact that you're charging $65 for these fucking Ultimates, right? And then I go over to Savage Crucible and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? Look at the detail and the Savage Crucibles, and they're cheaper for one thing. And yeah, they don't have a licensing fee. Okay, fair enough. But you have no detail. You pretty much have big fucking soap bottles. And then you have assholes, and Matthew knows this. Then you have people that will try and tell you that they have better articulation or just as good of articulation as classified. Bullshit. You're so full of shit. So I'm sorry for all the people that have worked for Super 7 and have lost their job. This comes from the top. All right? This was the guy at the top for the longest time, Brian Flynn, who allowed the bullshit quality and didn't give a fuck. So much so that he went, what are you supposed to do? I don't know. You don't treat your fucking clients like shit. And he placed the blame on everyone else. If anyone's a skateboarder here, you know who fucking Christian Hosoi is. Christian Hosoi did time in prison for all the fucking drugs and shit, right? Listen to him fucking talk. It's never his fault. It's always someone else's fucking fault. There's a thing called accountability, which Super 7 never has had. And there's a reason why when you take a big fucking investment from somebody and they don't see a profit, they fucking take over your company. Action Figure Sold Separately says, I think a lot of their appeal is to non-collectors. Understandable. But it doesn't mean that your quality has to suck. I've mentioned before, when it comes to like the reaction figures, and I'm looking at the Circle Jerks figures, I'm looking at the Gorilla Biscuits, right? They've done Agnostic Front. They do all these punk bands, Rancid, right? I understand why those are $20. They are a niche, right? Not everyone wants them. So there's going to be a smaller quantity. But then you go to your Parks and Rec, right? You have your Office. They have all these other things that they're sitting in on Target shelves, and Target can't lower them enough. But then you switch over to, again, that's your reaction. Which, again, 5 POA. I mean, they might as well be Army Green Men. But then you go to what is supposed to be for your collectors, and that is your $55, now $65 Ultimates that have shit articulation when stuff isn't right. That's the biggest thing. When the paint sucks and you go, yeah, we know that second wave of the G.I. Joe figures, the faces weren't painted, but it's good enough. Is it? Because I'll go look at the exact same price of a 4 Horsemen figure, a Mythic Legion fucking figure, and go, wow. How is it that this little company who's not in Target, who's not in Walmart, how is it that I can look at their shit and be like, this is superb? And hell, that Jersey Devil, right? The Jersey Devil. They had kneecaps that were popping off, wings that wouldn't fit on, people losing their fucking shit. And again, I don't mean to be yelling at you or anyone. You said my dude Ultimate broke immediately. Yeah, so did the one bat that I bought, the SDCC one, right? You have people flipping out over the Mythic Legion, and it's like, wow, dude, if you only had wings that didn't stay on, let's say on an Ultimate, and the knee fucking broke, the kneecap broke off, you'd probably be fucking thrilled. Whew. All right. Smog17 says, I could buy a hyper articulated figure at my Target for less than Super 7 Ultimate. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fucking go off. Yeah, so yeah. Well, that's the only. Hey, that was it, man. I was like, I'm done. Nope. I would never buy another Ultimate. There's I watched an interview with Brian Flynn talk about how the reason why we had to blow out some of this Ultimate stuff was because certain companies canceled the orders on us. They canceled the orders because no one was buying them because they were shit and they were having to give them away. 2 years ago, Entertainment Earth, and I know they did this because they made a shit ton of money off them, because that one wave of G.I. Joe figures was $11 each. So when I was pushing them out, and at that time people could use my code and get 10% off, people were fucking loving it. They were getting these figures for $10.50. Which I'm not going to say that, hey, you know what? I'd say an Ultimate is probably worth more than, $11. But if that's what they have to sell them at, that they're not worth it. Smog17 says, I'm comfortable throwing my Delta 17 across the room, but not a Reaction Plus figure. Well, I don't know why you're throwing it across the room. If Ken is still here, hi, Ken. He's probably like, why would you do that? But your point is taken. It says, I bought Super 7 Ultimates because they're $100 Canadian. I think you meant I haven't bought. So, again, they're not good. I can. So anyway, that's some Super 7 news. I'm actually surprised that it lasted this long. I don't even think they did a pop-up this year. So I would say that the writing was on the wall. I mean, could we say that the writing was on the wall? I don't think they did a pop-up this year. And they do a pop-up every year. And that's something that was really cool, right? To do a whole theme. But again, it's like, where was the money coming from? It's kind of like, again, the money always has to come from somewhere. Remember that, people. Money always has to come from somewhere. So if you're getting free money, where is it coming from? Someone's going to have to pay for it eventually. Whew. All right. Yeah, not so Super 7. The Super 7 should be because every figure costs $7 because that's what it's fucking worth. All right. Super 7 was in a cookie dispenser booth at SDCC. Oh, their presence at Joe Fest was, can we say tiny? I mean, the year before, they had a nice sized booth. This year, boom. Tripwire jumping in here says, did they go broke? I think so. Super 7, Chapter 7. Super Chapter 7. They lost a lot of money. No Jin says, does the closing only affect the store? Yes, these two stores are closing. I think they said at the end of the year. So if you're in there, you have a chance to probably go in there. They probably won't clearance anything. Probably have a better chance of waiting on Entertainment Earth and BBTS throwing the sales out. Yes, it was woefully pitiful. And the year before that, they had a really nice presence. They actually had some product. But yeah. And like Matthew said, yeah, the investors want their money back. They were given a huge infusion of money, which again, if someone gives you money, they want that money to be recouped plus some, right? No one goes in and just gives money for free. I'll say it again, right? Especially these big firms. That's not what they do. So that's the reason why he was removed as being president. And he says he's still, well, again, you haven't heard much from him in quite some time. He's gone radio silent for quite some time. Because when all these things would break in the past few years, like news would break, he'd come out and he'd say, that's not true. I don't know where people are getting this. And then 2 months later, that fucking shit would come true. That's how you know someone's fucking lying. That's all I'm saying. Warcha says, do you feel that when they first came out, they were loved, but then the new companies and new line, their stuff was just outdated and overpriced? You would think they would have updated the product. That's exactly it. Brian Flynn continued to say, well, if we update the Super 7s with better articulation in the knees and paint, the aesthetic isn't going to fit with our old stuff. Now, admittedly, I like what Hasbro does with the Star Wars, is a classic, whatever it is, that fits in with your 5 POA. But that is something that goes back to the 70s, right? And there are people that still collect that so that you can still get stuff from new movies, new TV shows in that aesthetic. Now, a lot of people don't care for that. I understand that, but you still have that for those people that are like, I collect this. When you sit there and say, well, if we upgrade the articulation on the G.I. Joe Ultimates, the aesthetic's not going to be the same as the other Ultimates. Well, I'm sorry. I can go look at Classified and look at Series 1 of Classified and look what it looks like now and be like, wow, they changed for the better. I see it in Transformers. I see it in the small companies that are upgrading. But this is a company that doesn't want to do that. And we even saw it with the Four Horsemen. They finally started up because they said the same thing. They didn't want to do it. Now, a lot of their stuff was because they want everything to be interchangeable. But even they came to the point where, hey, we had to start progressing our articulation. But still, when you look at the Four Horsemen stuff, it's superb when it comes to the painting and everything else. All right. There'll be more Super 7 later on. Four Horsemen has the 2026 event schedule. And I put this up because Joe Fest is not on it. No, I don't know. I don't know if this means because, hey, maybe it's not fully done. Maybe they're still working something out, but that's a big omission if they're not going to Joe Fest. Mesquite-Con, I don't think is nearly as big as Joe Fest. I believe that's actually in Michigan, if I'm correct. In Muskegon, which is not near me. I believe a lot of these are smaller than Joe Fest. Hell, Motu Fest, we don't even know. I mean, Motu Fest isn't that kind of like, I can't figure out the Motu Fest thing. Because PowerCon says that it's, is it all one thing now? I have no idea. But anyway, I just noticed that Joe Fest is not on here. I hope they are going to go to Joe Fest. I mean, they're going to Toylanta. It doesn't say Joe Lanta, but I feel like those two are like, if you go to one, you're going to the other for the most part. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I just happened to see this, and I noticed Joe Fest was left off here, and I hope they're there because they have a very nice. I always have a very nice booth. Although you don't get anything at a deal anymore, which is understandable because other people can't sell their stuff cheaper. So it would be nice, but we'll see. Andrew Taylor says Toylanta is spring, Jolanta fall, same show. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like normally, if someone's going to a big company is going to Toylanta, they're also going to Jolanta and vice versa. But they're also not close either. I know they're also not close. So, I mean, and they're not close to where they're at. So, but we'll see. But again, I hope they go to Joe Fest because they got a good show, a good presence there. But if they did leave, I know Ed has talked about how he needs more space. That would be a huge space that would open up for more vendors. But I'll be honest, for me, I don't want more for Joe Fest. I don't want more toy vendors. Like I want more independent toy companies that might have exclusives and different things like that. Stuff that you can't get everywhere. So we will see. We will see. Joe Fan 84 jumping in here saying, unfortunately, I'm missing Joe Fest next year, going to Panama Beach instead. I mean, I love Joe Fest, but the sound of Panama Beach, which I think, isn't that where the last Nitro took place, at Panama Beach? If I'm correct, I think that it is. So anyway, if you are going, again, hopefully, and if you know, if you know, then put in the comments like, yeah, they just haven't, confirmed it yet. But I do find it does seem like, you notice, are like all the cons other than San Diego Comic-Con on this side of the country. I feel like the West Coast has San Diego Comic-Con and nothing else. And again, they're from this side, but so I thought Motu Fest was supposed to be like in California or something. I don't know. I saw Motu Fest as part of PowerCon again, so I have no idea what's going on with that. But anyway, Shark Guy says, Joe Fan, don't worry, mate. 2027 is the year you want to be there to help me celebrate my 50th birthday. Are you actually going in 2027? I mean, I know you guys had talked about going every other year if possible, because I know a lot of guys had asked me if you guys were going to go next year too, and I'm like, I don't know. They said it's a pretty expensive trip, and really didn't ask how much it is. I'm just I'm assuming that plane flight is probably pretty expensive. All right. So Masters of the Universe. Yeah, they have a wolf, a shadow wolf, which is kind of weird. A red shadow, something like that. I'll say it again. These origins that are these but Mattel creation exclusives are pretty cool. Now, this mask is something straight from Nightmares. I think we can I think we can agree on. This is like a nightmare. Just looking at this mask and whatever it is, and something with fur all over you, with a knife coming out. Yeah, this might just give people nightmares. I hope so. It has that plastic mask from Halloween vibe where we cut our tongue because we stick it out there. Smog17 says, I've thought about moving to Georgia so I don't have to justify 1 week trips just for a toy convention. Well, and you know what? You have at least 3: Toylanta, Joe Lanta, and Joe Fest. So I mean, you're gonna get 3. All right, so here he is with a broken arrow and a spear. Darth Burgess, his Mossman would wear that mask. It has to be flocked. It has to be a flocked mask. Is that Licky Baldy? I'm sorry. That's the only one I have. But I think there's gonna be more Licky Baldies coming. Just be aware. So anyway, here's Hebro. I don't know what he is. And a female. I don't know how these 2 go together or these 3 go together. Powers of Grayskull. Here's Graph. I guess I should have read here. But anyway, if you are interested, you can get this. I do think this figure looks. I think this figure looks good, and I've been saying that about these origins. Like, it kind of makes me wish I was still like collecting them, because the sculpts that they've done is better than what you get with what the price of these normally are. And again, Motu is, it's funny. Every single company does repaints and reuses of bucks, from Fresh Monkey Fiction to Valaverse to Classified to Marvel Legends. Everyone takes shit for it, other than the one that does it the most, and that is Motu. Like, they are the kings of reuse, and no one really says anything about it. People don't get pissed off. People just go, hey, that's how it is. Like, did everyone forget the original G.I. Joe 13? Like, it was a lot of reuse then. Cowshay says, Beastman's great grandpa? It might be. But it does look cool. The mask is just kind of creepy. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I think this actually looks pretty good. I went to a rant and a toy conversation broke out. Sorry. So here's what you get. You get a broken arrow. You get a knife that looks like it's made out of rock, a spear, a mask from hell, and then an interesting looking figure for sure. And again, those blue eyes or turquoise eyes or whatever they are, I think this is a good looking figure. So again, if you like the Motu origins, again, I think this is something that you're going to enjoy. So here's a shadow of the wolf. Again, I think they're totally copying off of Skeletron for their red shadow. Before anyone yells at me, I understand. But yeah, if you're interested, there you go. You can get this. Powers of Grayskull. I think it costs like $10 a year or something like that. So you have the option to buy stuff. Dirty Knife says we bought the same figure 13 times and we liked it. You're absolutely right. I think we liked it more before because it really wasn't our money. As kids, it was like, I'm sure like our parents were like, can we just buy this damn figure again? I swear we bought this figure. No, Dad, this is a different figure. Look at the green. It's clearly a different green. And this head is not the same head on that one. But it's the same head on Hawk. That's beside the point. So anyway, there you go. Mezco came in with the leader. And again, I'm not a huge Hulk fan, but this is undeniably recognizable. And this is one of those things where I understand what they did with Captain America Brave New World. But I thought in the Incredible Hulk movie, they had made the leader look the way was very acceptable. I don't hate the way the leader looked in Brave New World, but I thought they did a good job in the one movie, and then we never saw him again, that they should have kept that look. The big giant brain, the receding hairline. It definitely looks like he has a heart. It also looks like a guy mooning someone. Right? You see the butt cheeks? He's definitely a guy mooning someone. Bobby Wool says, I still do that when my wife asks, didn't I just buy that figure? No, totally different paint scheme. Didn't have this weapon. All right. So, again, very interesting looking figure. I think it's very smart for Mezco to go, okay, we have the Hulk figure. He has to have a bad guy, right? He has to have a villain to go with it. And this is what we're going to do. So here we go. He does look sinister. And not Mr. Sinister, but he definitely looks sinister. Again, I didn't order this. I don't know if anyone else picked it up. I feel like that Hulk, I don't know if he's still available, but he was up for quite some time. So I don't know if you can still get him on Mezco. We got Richard Sampson jumping in here saying, hey, Punk. And he says, Mezco price is too high for this leader figure. All Mezco prices are too high. I take that back. They're not too high. It's what their prices are. Although I did not look at the price of this. I will admit that. I thought it was like around 120, 130. Which, again, I just, it's Mezco. So you know you're going to pay for it. You know you're going to wait for it. And, you know, if it's called a Rumbler, you're really going to wait for it. So, but he does have a little butt on the top here. Looks like he's mooning. But nonetheless, a pretty good looking figure. I would say, looking at the outfit, again, this is where Mezco, you know, this is where they strive, is having soft goods. And we see no joints at all within a figure like this. Sometimes that's really good. Sometimes it's not so good. Tripwire says his body looks like Stretch Armstrong. You're right. I was trying to figure out what he looked like, and you're right. He looks kind of like Stretch Armstrong. Warcha says, I've put the leader fig in my cart, but I'm not sure I'm going to get him as overpriced. Again, I think most people say all Mezcos are overpriced, but that's just kind of my thinking, right? But now, how much is he exactly? Because I just throw it in there. Largo's Lair jumping in here saying a new Mezco Loki for Thor. I mean, if they do Thor, they definitely should do Loki. I know they've done Thor. I don't think they're Loki. You could do a lot for Loki. I gotta say that. Hi, it's me. Says I don't like it. You know, people love this Hulk, and you know it's kind of funny because people like, you know, they started instantly comparing it to the Maximum Hulk, and I'm like, yeah, he's much more expensive than Maximum Hulk too. So here's the leader. He really has that like alien look to him. Here's his different heads, his hands. He looks like something straight from Mars Attacks. I mean, that's the kind of feeling that I get. The laser guns or the ray guns. He's got some goggles. So it's a good looking figure if you're interested in that. If you're not, then move along. Move along. Baldy's jumping in saying, I have those pajamas on. Should we get a Licky Baldy with you in those pajamas? Spec, where are you? Licky Baldy. Licky Baldy's head on this outfit right here. We need it for tomorrow. When Baldy shows up, Licky Baldy's coming on. All right, J-Dub. We have E Honda, and I'm excited that the Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers, are coming to an end. Yes, he does kind of look like he looks kind of like Green Megamind, which is funny because now that's been brought up twice today on the show. I'm kind of happy. I don't care for the new Street Fighters that are coming out for the new game, whatever game they're doing. I'm happy for everyone that likes it. I'm happy for myself because I'm not interested in it, so I don't feel the need to pick them up. So E Honda, and there's two other ones. I think that wraps up the final challengers. There may be one or two that are coming out, maybe alternate figures, but for the most part, I feel like after this, I think I might be done with the Street Fighter figures, and that will be helpful on the pocketbook for sure. The wallet cries at times. Richard Sampson says, I pre-ordered Mezco Red Hood, and he's definitely not worth the $140 after looking at reviews. Well, did you look at the price of him on the aftermarket? If you don't want him, you might want to look at that. Look at those aftermarket prices because he shot up like crazy. Here's the thing with Mezco. They don't have the greatest articulation. They're usually like really smooth joints. Great accessories. You have great soft goods. You have detail on it, but you're not going to get the same articulation that you get out of classified. You also tend to sometimes struggle because when soft goods are on it, and I've talked about it after having some, it's hard to kind of move them because the soft goods will get in the way. But you kind of know what you're getting with Mezco. And they tend to really keep their value other than Destro and Roadblock. They tend to keep their value. So if you don't want them, look online, and he was definitely going for more than what you paid for him. So if you want to get rid of him, I don't think you're going to have a hard time getting rid of him at all. Yes. See, like you said, the aftermarket is insane for him. Bobby Walt says, I would like to get E-Honda just to make a scene where Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes fighting off a bunch of red and blue ninjas in a bathhouse, and he's the Kingpin or Yokozuno. I'm thinking you meant Yokozuno. That is an awesome idea. Right now, a bunch of people just got ideas for pictures. Me too, but mine will suck compared to everyone else's. Brick something jumping in here saying, I think it's just E-Honda, Balrog, and T-Hawk. I don't know why I'm saying Thawk. I think so too. I think that's it. And like I said, I know they're continuing on with the line. I'm glad to continue on with Street Fighter for the people that want those. I'm really happy that I don't want them because I need a break. Clint Jorgensen jumping in here. Got my 2025 Joe Fest file cards from Codename Iowa today. Yeah, they were pretty cool. The final, everything that they do is really good at Codename Iowa, or Assembly Required. I gotta say that the artwork is top notch. There's no doubt about that. So, anyway, if you want this figure, it's actually kind of disgusting. But if you want a good Yokozuna, man, for wrestling, you have a great Yokozuna right here, man. At least $1 to do it. Get out your little paint, figure some stuff out. I think you'll be happy with it. They are making a Red Riding Hood figure. They are. They've only shown off the black and white digital render of it. But yes, she is coming. Wait, maybe it wasn't just black and white. Maybe it might have been something else. So let's see here. Warchest says 3-star from Codename Iowa. Did I see Darren jump in here? I didn't see Darren jump in, did I? Or are you just adding him? Maybe he's just watching. Darren, I made Warchest buy that for you for what he did to you on Tuco Viper, just so you know. How you're going to get it, I have no idea. Because you can't roll that thing up and ship it. I'll just say that. Anyway. So there you go. If you want an E-Honda. Yeah, okay. Every single wrestling figure I've ever seen sucks. I'm sorry. The Mattel wrestling figures, every time I see one, I'm like, God, they suck. Oh, anyway. But there you go. I don't know what else to say about him. He's fat. He's got 2 heads. He got a hand, and then his special effects, which is probably the lamest special. I mean, it's needed, but it's probably the lamest of all the special effects. Oh, He says he should have it already. Have it. He should already have it. And yes, it was a bitch to ship flat. I could only. I know we talked about it. Like how are you going to ship this? So all those posters are like a thick. They were a thick media. So yeah, I know we talked about how you could ship it. Flat isn't that easy. That's for sure. Jay Astro says, nope, the new Mattel demolition figure will be incredible. Okay, well, enjoy it. I mean, I don't I'm not saying they don't look good, but like I don't know. It seems like there's a lot to be desired. Nowhere man child. Don't let him near your parked car. Man.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta understand, man. I never even saw these assholes before.
Now, you may have been here before, and with the new apps, everything is different, but I don't remember the name, and I definitely don't remember that little. I don't remember your thumbnail. So, welcome. Boss Fight Studio dumped a lot of stuff. Actually, not a lot, but that was over the past 2 weeks. Remember, so we have these epic hacks, and I know we saw them, and it seems like what they're doing is like one figure that's like futuristic, and then they're doing one that's more like in the past, fantasy, different things like that. So we have this guy who I think a lot of people thought that it is supposed to be Frankenstein's monster, but he's zombified. So he's zombified in many ways. So you could kind of use him as a Frankenstein's monster, creature, whatever, or he can be a zombie. Now, I don't know if it's due to the tariffs and everything that's going on. These figures have jumped up in price to a good $60 each, which is crazy. So, but there you go. The detail on these are really good. We've talked about these epic hacks. You know, these are the 6-inch figures. Again, I think they look super good. I did pre-order this one. He has the green, a bunch of different weapons and everything. The truth is anything worth it. I think the Boss Fight Studio stuff is. I mean, I think their stuff is really good, to be honest. I really like their quality. The way their stuff is put together, I think they do a good job. So I disagree, but I'm disagreeing on the premise of what I've seen in the past and what the prices are going to be. Joe cries Frankenstein. So, and then we have this guy. I have no interest at all. I have no interest at all, but I'm sure there are people like I don't care for Cosmic Legions, and some people love Cosmic Legions. I have no interest in it. I think most of the Mythic Legions are awesome, but Cosmic does very little for me. So, but if this is something you're interested in, it kind of looks like a Transformer from the movie. Though he doesn't transform or anything. And then here, yeah, I don't know why you'd want the robot looking like this, but you can. And Matthew says, I like their skeletons for $20. I like the Red Sonja for under $50. Well, I would like Classified for $22, Matthew. I like everything for less than what it is. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Well, okay, that is your opinion. So either way, that's what it is. So this is their 4-inch Conan, and I like the fact that they still do 4-inch figures. But man, there is something wrong with that fucking face. I know sometimes that there's a fail when it comes to the 4-inch, going from 6-inch to 4-inch, but this is not the greatest sculpt at all. But yeah, this is I mean, it's there. It kind of reminds me of what Haya does with their G.I. Joe figures. It's like everything to get to the face looks really, really good. Hayasmi says that robot was dressed as a Transformer for Halloween, I think. But again, this is a 4-inch figure. So this is not one of the epic hacks. But this this face sculpt here, the one with the crown on or whatever that thing is, it looks so bad. I don't even think his eye. I think he has eyes going all over the place. Okay, it might be comic book Conan, but that face sculpt doesn't look good. Largo says it's never a good idea to argue with your best wrench Lawrence. That's why I don't argue with Ed. Here's his backside. If you were wondering like what his ass looks like, there you go. Yeah, all their 4-inch figures have been $30. They went from 25 to 30 quite some time ago. All right, so here is our Hellboy. I don't know. I don't really care for these. And again, that's just me. There's a lot of people that love Hellboy. I believe this is the comic looking Hellboy. This figure looks like he is going to be a pain in the ass to stand. That upper body and that big hand are going to more than likely be very top heavy for how small his legs are and his feet. I could be wrong. But just kind of messing around with, what I do have, and it just seems like he's going to be a fairly top heavy figure. But I know people love Hellboy, so people are going to grab him, and I hope you enjoy it. I guess he does have that tail on the back, so that tail may work as that third leg, kind of like the gargoyles do. I know I have. That's what I've used with those. With the gargoyles, to use their tail. Richard Sampson says, kudos to anyone who likes Hellboy. He's always been a trash character to me. I guess I liked the movies. The first two movies with I can't think of his name. They're enjoyable. They're popcorn. His third leg hurt. Exactly. Like I said, I enjoyed the first two. I enjoyed the first two movies as for what they were. Again, I don't think they weren't great or anything, but they were fun to watch. But there you go. There's Hellboy. He's got a big old. I know very little about it. Ron Perlman, thank you. All I could think of is the guy from Sons of Anarchy. Although I know who Ron Perlman is, I just couldn't think of his name. So thank you, G.I. Jetman. Darth Burke, you're too late. G.I. Jetman, he already answered. All right, Skeletron. Now, I put this in here because I've already had a lot of people in my comments telling me, oh, I wish they had the 6-inch up. it'd be nice if they had those up for sale. Well, I believe everything is going up on Black Friday. So, if you are interested in any of the figures that I did reviews on, the head pack, they will be available, along with obviously all their 4-inch figures. I don't know if they have any Robo Skulls though. I think the Robo Skulls are all sold out, but they may have more. I know right now it says it's sold out on the site. A matter of fact, our friend Tripwire bought the last one there. Because of that, I got a free hat, because not only did I sell a stand to Plastic Battles, who was buying a Robo Skull, which was odd because as Paul, that's Plastic Battles, was buying it, and I'm like, you need the stand. Ben, the owner of Skeletron, was arguing that he actually likes it when it's just like landed properly. And I'm like, are you trying not to sell something? But I totally talked Tripwire into buying this, and I don't think he regrets it. But anyway, these are the figures. Because I already have the pictures, I figured I would throw them in here. So this is the now I don't know if they're in order. Okay, Matthew says they have some Robo Skulls on the water, not many left. Don't know if there'll be another run. I think they have to be calculated on what they I think they have to be calculated on the runs that they do. I think most people would agree, but I don't think you want to run into a case where you have so many that you have to put them in blind boxes and sell them at half the price. I don't think that you want to have, a company like BBTS have to, put stingers up for $50. This is a very small niche group of collectors that are going to be into this. I gotta say, I think that this is, again, this line is really good. So anyway, this is the head pack. What you get here is the Blood Wolf, which is the first one, the Red Weasel, and on the Crimson Bat, I put the Robo Skull head. Unfortunately, because Classified can't use the same the neck peg, I did have to use a little bit of sticky tack, and the red isn't the exact same, but it fits good enough. And now I have a Bat Robo Skull, which I think actually works pretty well. The weapons are cool. I like the rifle for the fact that it's an actual rifle. It has the magazine, but it looks futuristic, but not too crazy. Warcher says, I got the only faceplate for the Robo Skull they bought. It looks badass. I got that too. I haven't opened it yet. And that's what it didn't even dawn on me that that's what this is. That this is the actual faceplate of it. Shark Guy says, I don't know what it is, but the Skeletron figures do very little for me. No, and again, and that's fully understandable. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's different for everyone. I just thought they were really cool, and I think, like I said, I ordered the Robo Skull on the backer kit, and I ordered the special edition, which I actually like the regular one better, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this, and I thought if I had to sell it, I might as well get the special edition, which they're only doing during that run. But I enjoy it. All right, so these are the actual face sculpts that you're gonna get. You get Bob Regan. He's the older fella. There's the Robo Skull. There's the helmets on the bottom. And this other one here, I'm sorry, I do not know his name. I don't know his name. He also works for Skeletron. I could not find his name. I went through Ben's Facebook trying to find his name, but I was not able to find his name. Now, if you look at the helmet, it is called the Red Weasel. It is an homage to Wild Weasel. I remember a while back him talking about that he loved Wild Weasel. So they did a Red Weasel, and it is very, very similar. So if you want to make a more classic Wild Weasel, maybe you think that helmet doesn't work, this one, with a little bit of paint, you can make this look like the G.I. Joe O-Ring Wild Weasel. I actually compared the two. So they're very interesting. Here is the Jungle Wolf. This was the first one that I backed. This camouflage it works. Again, I put them with an Operation Monster Force, which is what the camouflage looks like now. I put them with Footloose, which is the Vietnam era camouflage, and then I put a picture, with them with the World War II Wolverine. I thought it was a nice little contrast of all these different eras, and then obviously a futuristic guy. This guy just pops. Like, the camouflage is spot on. I'll be interested to see how they look when I start doing some of the reviews of the Top Fun toys with actual weapons. But this is, again, if you pop the helmet off and then you take off their plate carrier and you put on another one, you're going to have a very interesting modern style military figure. Allison tried jumping in here saying that old white beard dude looks like he wants to talk to me about his diabetes and steroids. Not at all. He is one of the nicest people you could ever meet. And I mean that sincerely. He's probably shorter than Seth Green. I mean that. I stopped him. So Bob Reekin, I saw him at Joe Fest 2024. A much older fella. And I ran into him. I ran into him in the hallway. There's no one else around. His son was like trailing behind him. Like, this guy is just booking, man. And I stopped for a second, said hi to him, took a picture with him. So, I mean, seriously, this guy was so gracious. He's the one who actually created the original RoboSkull, and he worked with them to create this one. Super nice guy. And then I saw him a few more times on the floor, and that guy just runs around. I'll rip on everyone. Not this guy. He was awesome. So I just want to put that out there. Is that his name, Mark? I couldn't think of his name. He is the guy from Skeletron. I just couldn't think of his name. Yes, these are real people. So the old guy is Bob Reekin, a Palatoy. And then Baldy said this is Mark. And again, I didn't know what his name was. He also works at Skeletron. He's actually the IT guy that Ben originally hired at the business that he sold. And now I believe he still works there. So he's their IT guy. But yeah. Okay, so yep. It's Mark O'Brien is Red Weasel. I didn't know his name, so I do apologize. Says input it in your comments and messages you on Instagram about Mark. Okay. I believe you. All right. So here is your Gyro Wolf. So this is Gary Goggles. He was a collector who passed away. I think a couple years ago now. Yeah, it has been. I think this figure. I'm trying to remember if the 4-inch figure, which I've had now for over a year, was done because he passed away. Either way, he is the silver Gyro Wolf. The helmet is different than the regular one. The helmet is different than the other one. It doesn't have the ears. So the helmets are actually completely different. But yeah, this looks really good. The silver pops. I haven't had a chance to put him with Battle Armor Cobra Commander, but I'm going to do some pictures when I get a second. Okay, he passed in 2015, so he was long gone. Punk never listens or actually reads comments. Otherwise, he'd know about Gary also. I read a lot. I also forget a lot. Okay, so quickly, somebody. All right. MCI says only Hornswoggle is shorter than Seth Green. Yes, these are real people. And someone asked who flies the Robo Skull. So Red Weasel, who's in the middle right here, he flies the Robo Skull Mark II. Blood Wolf, he flies the regular Robo Skull. I did find this out by looking at a couple things last night. Dirty Knife says, I might dip my toes in this line. There's not a lot of figures right now. There are 2 more that we know that are coming. They're just, I don't know. They're just, it's fun. It's something different for me. Just in my opinion. Tripwire says, I don't like the helmet with the ears. I do, because you can't really tell that they're fully ears. Like, you can't fully tell their ears, but I understand what you're saying. Action Figure Addict says, I'm ordering 3 of the Jungle Troopers on Friday. That's the one I think is going to sell the most. Only because, well, at least in like the G.I. Joe community, I think that's the one that's going to sell the most. But yeah, I think people are going to really enjoy it. Says Punk skateboard related head injuries are catching up with him. I would say I haven't had any head injuries, but maybe I've just forgotten. But yeah. So and then we have the Wolf Trooper. Again, these are all going up. I'm assuming they'll probably have more of the little Skeledrones there. I thought it was a really good idea to take these pictures in front of the Robo Skull, and then you realize that they all they just blend in. They're all fucking camouflaged with the Robo Skull. It didn't matter which one I did. Gyro Wolf. It didn't matter. They all blended in with it, especially this one. But when you actually can see the wolf Trooper, then you're like, all right, that looks really good. So it says Red Wolf flew the original Robo Skull. Red Weasel flew the Cobra version. The Mark II is flown by Blood Wolf. The Mark II SE is flown by Red Weasel. That's what I said. But Matthew doesn't ever listen to me because he's always right. Steve Chom. I know that's not what you went by before. Breakin' or Toy Optics? Well, Bob Breakin only created the Robo Skull and did stuff for Palatoy. Toy Optics has created, well, so I'll let you decide. Who has contributed more to this community? The one that created the Robo Skull, or the guy that created Licky Baldy. Yes, Blood Wolf. Blood Wolf is Bob Breakin. Okay. I'm glad I'm glad Zen gets a kick out of it. Licky Robo Skull. It does open up. The mouth does open up to breathe or to fire or shoot the lightning out of it. We could probably make a licky Robo Skull. Hi, it's me says that Robo Skull does look sick, like running yellow stuff coming from its holes. Looks sick to me. Again, I think that the regular all red one actually looks better. I'm not a big fan of the yellow. But again, when I backed it, I wasn't sure. I actually told Ben this, and he's like, maybe you shouldn't tell me this. And I was like, well, just let me finish. I said, if I would have known Classified was going to give us so many vehicles, I would have never backed this. The picture with Destro definitely sold me. But if I would have known Classified was going to give us all of these, and I told Ben this, I would never would have backed this. And I would have regretted it. This is a TIE fighter on steroids. Who needs a flying skull? No one needs a fucking flying skull until you get a fucking flying skull and you're like, God damn it. They took a TIE fighter and made it a flying skull. And the genius part about this was making it so it can be a two-person, 1/18th, a two-person, 1/18th vehicle, or a one-person, 1/6 scale. It was, I'd say pure genius, but it's like, it's something that's been looking people right in the face. And, you know, they made it work. They did it. Now, do I think that it's smart to do two different lines of the exact same characters? And literally, the 4-inch figures are almost the exact carbon copies of the 6-inch. Or maybe I should say the other way. The 6-inch are carbon copies of the 4-inch. And also do some O-ring figures. I don't know if it's the greatest. I don't know if it's the greatest idea for a company, but it is going to fulfill a hole of a lot of people because, like I said, even though the 1/18th crowd is much smaller, it's not dead. But I hope that they go heavy with the 6-inch figures. They're going to sell more. There's no doubt about it. So, no, they absolutely killed this. And again, if you go back and watch my review, I think it's like a fucking hour long. I go over everything that I could see in this thing. And again, there is nothing. Again, to me, this would have been Toy of the Year had it not been for the Dragonfly. And I just think the Dragonfly was that good. It's not taking anything away from this. To me, it was like when people would think that you were insulting Steve Yzerman for being the third best hockey player in his era, but the two he was behind was Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. You're not insulting someone saying that they're third. So, he says, they have a transparent skull yet? No, not that I know of. They only have these two. There has been talk, I believe, and I was talking to Mikey Kukovic. He was saying that they were trying to talk them into doing some other colors. I have a feeling that we'll see it. So yeah, we'll see. And Matthew says it kicked the ass if the Dragonfly, if it came with these figures then. I disagree. The Dragonfly is, in my opinion, is still, again, that was my toy of the year for me. And again, that's the great things about opinions. I have no connection to this. A lot of people have a connection to this, and that's why I have a connection to the Dragonfly. So I will readily admit that one of my favorite toys growing up being the Dragonfly, and then you give it to me the 6-inch, but all the detail on it was amazing. Again, saying this comes in second place, I don't think is I don't think it's criticizing at all. Anyway, but there you go. These will go up on Black Friday. Buy these, and rather than buy your kids stuff. Your kids don't really need any new shit. Here's another picture of them. All right. So Tripwire says the lower cannons of the Robo Skull do snap in hard. Pivot piece shifted, and the plastic piece that clicks holds it in place broke, but it's stiff enough. It's not a problem. The piece shifted, and the contact them. Contact Ben, because he specifically, I don't remember if it was you that he was talking to. Was it you and I that he was talking to? That he was like, if you break this playing with it, contact me. I will take care of it. So yeah. Well, it says glow in the dark Rebels. Okay, so they came with glow in the dark stickers. I don't put stickers on my stuff because I'm an adult. But yeah. All right. On the G.I. Joe news. Okay. This is Haya 4.1 inches. All right. This is the 1/18 scale. One thing Haya has mostly been doing with the G.I. Joe figures is taking the classified molds and shrinking them down. They look decent. The head sculpts are awful. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. With these figures, the Cobra Officer, Cobra Trooper, the Viper, and now the Alley Viper here, the ones that they have done their own fucking molds, maybe the color scheme is the same, maybe the stylistic cues from the classified, but the ones that they've made their own and sculpted have fucking killed it. This is what Haya should have been doing all along. Not just taking the stuff and shrinking it down, but making their own. Matthew says these are the original designs for Lenny and the Alley. I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen it, but either way, these have freaking killed it. The Viper was completely different. The Cobra Trooper was completely different. Different weapons and everything. These are awesome. Like, I think this one looks so damn good. And yes, you can see the cues from the classified version, but they actually did a design on their own. And well, then I didn't see that. So I don't know what design. I didn't realize that Lenny did a different design for the for this, because this looks nothing like the classified one. I mean, the color scheme is there, yes, but that's from the original. But I think this looks awesome. So breaking away from the full classified design, and if all they're doing is if they're getting all the original designs, then that really sucks for Lenny. Again, when you create something for another company, you don't own it, Bret Hart. Sorry, I just need to throw that jab in there. Also, if anyone's a fan of Bret Hart, dude, that guy needs to shut the fuck up, man. That guy, I mean, every time he opens his mouth, he sounds like a bigger fucking idiot. I'm just saying. Um, give me this Alley Viper. Give me that Viper. Give me that Cobra Trooper that they designed. If they're Lenny's, awesome. Then he has the rights. Classified needs to figure a way to get him in the classified line because I want to see it. Boba Fett saying the Cobra on the knee pads and elbow pads are cool. Yeah, these look really awesome. I said, there's something I've seen where they don't look exactly like the classified are really cool. So I had a Loki who's jumping in here. But yeah, I really like this. Brady McBeard says they probably were lovers. You need to listen to Bret. Yeah, I really doubt that. But yes, that guy, he needs to stop talking. He really needs to stop talking. He's just a bitter fucking old man. He's a bitter, washed up wrestler. And he has a right to be bitter over some things, but he needs to stop. Look at the original box art for the Alley Viper at the Alley Vipers in it from Wave 1 and the original designs that Lenny showed. The high are either straight classified or the original designs. They might be. All I'm saying is I didn't see that. Again, it's been a long time since I've looked at those boxes. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I did not realize that. And if that's what they're doing, then at least it's something different than just a shrunken down classified. Again, I don't, as much as I like a bigger version of Stalker that looks the exact same, I don't need Stalker to be the exact same. And that's where I think Classified kind of gets in their own way in many ways. It'd be nice if something was different. I know Lenny doesn't own the designs. I said that. I literally said that. Hasbro, you design something for someone, you do something, someone else owns it. That's why I said Bret Hart. But what I'm saying is he works for Hasbro. He needs to find a way to get it into the classified line. Now, this would not be good on a retro card back. See, this is what should be classified, and then what we got should be on a retro card back. That's my thinking. Like that's how it should be. I see. I don't know if they look so much cooler. They look different. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like they look different, and I like having both of them. You said no. You said Lenny owns the designs. I did not say that. I said Lenny did the designs, and I said that when you design something for someone, they own the design. Bret Hart thinks he should own all his own wrestling stuff. And if I said it wrong, I've said it 100 times before, I know he doesn't own it. When you design something for another, and we talked about this 100 fucking times. Stop trying to correct me when you know I'm fucking right. Yes, he works for Hasbro. He should be able to get them into the classified line. And if I said he owns it, I said it wrong. Anyway, he did tap. He fucking tapped like a bitch. He's fucking still tapping. Anyway, there you go. But I think this looks awesome. And I want it in 6-inch form. That's all that I'm saying. I want this in 6-inch form. Again, I wish they do retro card and make them retro. And then I wish they do something classified up. I still feel like they still don't know what to do because they're scared that this line can be ripped ripped out from underneath them at any time. So they want to make sure they get as much stuff out as possible. And different weapons. So, and again, they may just be taking those classified designs that Lenny designed. And again, Hasbro owns them. Lenny designed them. I said it sucks for Lenny that his designs, are being used for someone else. And he's not really getting the credit where he should be. But no, he does not own it. I know that. Tony can paint stuff. If I want something like this done, I'll ask Cage's Customs. I just want to see if Tony's listening. I just want to see if Tony's listening. All right. Super 7. Okay. Well, we know Cage's Custom is listening. I didn't know. Hey, Tony doesn't tell me anything anymore. I haven't talked to him in like 3 days. All right. So, where did I start with? Super 7. So, Super 7.
7 in Spanish is siete.
Guess who just entered the room?
Because I thought this was funny. I wanted to show you. I thought you could relate.
So, I'm in the middle of my show, and you're like, I thought, okay. Hey, Dad, I know you're in the middle of a show, but I thought this was really.
You don't have a friend on, so I could be your friend for a second.
I know, but I have 60 people watching, and now they're like, "What is he paying
Say
attention
Santa.
to?" Santa.
Say Santa.
Say Santa.
60.
Okay.
In Spanish,
My
en
goodness.
español.
Does
Español.
anyone want a child?
You
I
say
will-
that every single stream.
No one's taken you yet.
They do this to take me.
Look, I got all the rulers, guys. Look, just so you know, I got all the rulers now, all the colors. No, Baldy, I will not say that.
What did he say?
That stupid thing that I guess you kids are saying.
What? Where is it?
And no one understands that.
6, 7. 6, 7.
Yeah, I don't get it. I didn't even know about it until some people started talking about it, and I don't care. Anyway,
It's basically like. Did you guys have any numbers?
do you want a child? I will pay for the shipping costs and everything.
Okay. Oopsie. Forgot that you don't like that.
No, I don't. You hear that, Tony? She burped. I just said, yeah. I forgot that you don't like that. No, I don't. My gosh.
What is it?
Do any of you do any of you other? Do you guys watch any other streams where their kids
Yeah,
just
great
walk?
entertainment.
Their kids just walk in and interrupt and think that it's perfectly fine.
Is it not? You would have told me to shoo by now.
Matthew says my daughter wouldn't mind an older sister. He lives in Texas. It doesn't get cold. You can wear that half shirt all the time.
Oh, or isn't her name Olivia too?
No,
Whose name is Olivia?
that is Adams.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I can't believe I'm not Olivia.
You and Olivia are two completely different kids. I will tell you that much.
Oh, I was about to say something, but I shouldn't insult a kid.
No. She is. You want to talk about someone who is in charge?
Who's in charge?
Yeah, she's in charge of him. I met her this weekend or last weekend.
I tell you to do stuff and you do it all the time.
Are you
What do you mean?
Are you going to send her DHL? No, she'll die of starvation in Stowe, Ohio.
What is DHL?
Pop says it'll give my son a girlfriend. Nope, you're done.
You're beyond blocked.
Yes, you are correct. Bobby B has several reviews now where his toddler contributes to the video, but not on a live stream.
But what does it say?
And his daughter is little and doesn't know the difference.
No.
I think
the difference when you're tiny. Too.
I think we all can agree that this one knows. Considering she's been on numerous times.
Don't interrupt you when you're with a friend.
What?
I don't interrupt you when you're with a friend usually.
Usually. I like how you added usually.
Because I'm not busy. I only came because
Tony says, I will never make another custom for you again. Ask Johnny. He's more than Kate. I know he is. And we have... I know this. What does this say?
Okay, let me go read it.
No, his name. Do you like the island dork and have your kid join in? Except your kid doesn't sound like teenage Barry White. Well, yeah, I would never do that to her.
What is that?
What?
What is that?
It's another channel.
Oh.
Yeah, see, Matt, usually. Anyway.
My input is always useful.
Always useful. Okay. Back to...
I make jokes. So you can have jokes. I give you content.
You guys do hear this, right? The mic does pick her up, I hope.
Do I not? Give him content.
Oh, you give me something. I think they call them ulcers.
Don't use that word. I don't know what it means.
It's holes in the stomach.
How do I give you ulcers?
Stress.
You do not get stressed with me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably reverse the ulcers.
Baldy says you sound taller than... She sounds taller than you. Okay. With ruler, now we always have to have rulers. Anyway, okay. So this is what I like from Super 7. I like the fact that they want to give characters that we never had before in the O-ring line. This is smart. There's no reason to redo a gung-ho we already have or a Duke that we already have. They're going to the cartoon. I think they're going to some with the comic. This is cool. The problem is the detail is so lackluster that it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. There is no reason why we should have less detail in 2025 than what we did in 1984 and 85. These should all have swivel wrists. They should all have neck articulation, which I did notice some of the ones that I have do have neck articulation, and it's not noticeable, which I actually do appreciate. But yeah, this is... I just... Again, I understand what the character is. Here she is with her... You can't see the little globe on her head, but it's there. But I feel like you could do more within the suit. Some sort of wrinkles. That's what I point out in these classic reviews. Like the wrinkles that are on the suits and everything like that. It's something different. And once again, Super 7 just as bare minimum as possible. Action Figure Addict says, why are you so mean to Olivia? She adds an extra flair to the channel. That is the flair. She looks like Roseanne's sister, Jackie. I don't know about that, Trip Boy. I like that she comes in and... Okay. In all honesty, I like the fact that she comes in and she has that flair that she adds because she's not always here. All right. And she knows when enough is enough and how much is. Okay. And her and I don't really fight. Matter of fact, when someone does think that I snip at her, I will get a call from her mother telling me that I need to stop because I talked to her a certain way or said something. She doesn't like when I get mad at her. That's not being mad. Viper Scout says, this is exactly what I wanted when they announced Reaction Plus, just for $15 instead of $25. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Eduardo. But I just feel like there could be more detail. So here we go. Arctic Scarlet. Now, this is, to me, exactly what we want to see. And you can actually see some wrinkles and stuff. And this Arctic suit looks much better than what they did with Cobra Commander, where it doesn't look good at all. This one here, from what we're looking at, looks pretty good. And she has a Geiger counter or a karaoke machine. I don't know what it is. This one looks pretty good, and this is something I'll probably pick up. But again, I refuse to order sight unseen any type of Super 7 figure because Deadeye's cover girl. That's all I have to say. But I think this figure looks really good. You're absolutely right. This could be Arctic anybody, but I believe it's from the cartoon, so that's how you're going to know. And we'll probably get an Arctic Lady J, and the face sculpt will be slightly different. But you look at her boots, and you can tell those are Scarlet's boots. Just remember that. She does have specific boots. Dirty Knife says their only redeeming quality is the cross sell on the card back. I disagree. I mean, if you like O-Ring, if you still collect O-Ring, you know, there is a place for it in your collection for some of them. Other ones, again, there's so much to be left to be desired. I think this Cobra Commander is pretty cool. Now, do we need another Cobra Commander? I mean, how many Cobra Commanders have they already put out? More than enough, I think. There's a lot of characters. Now, I like the cape on him. Clearly, this is some sort of digital render because he has no knee articulation. You can't see the swivel. So this is the fourth one already. And again, you have all the reaction ones that they've done too. But yes. So they've had the regular Cobra Commander, Arctic Cobra Commander, Python Cobra Commander, correct? And now this one? I feel like there was another one. But I like the way this looks. I like the cape. The cape is so ridiculous on Cobra Commander that it is something from the cartoon that you expect Cobra Commander to have. So, oh yeah, Once a Man too. So you have Once a Man, Arctic. Wasn't there a Python Cobra Commander? The regular Cobra Commander. And now this one. So there's 5, right? And Once a Man Cobra Commander looks awful. So here you go. Again, I like this one though. But I have so many Cobra Commanders for $25. Is this really what I want to spend money on? There's the card back. And again, Dirty Knives, I don't want to insult you when I said I disagree. You are absolutely dead right on the cross sell. And this is exactly how the cross sell on the classified retro figure should look. You don't have to have only the wave. All these figures here, they're not all part of this exact wave. And I understand Hasbro, they have to have the 5L, but this is perfect. You have a whole bunch of stuff. It is that nostalgic feel. When you look at the back of this, you go, wow, this is what I remember. So, no, and again, yeah, I wasn't trying to, be mean. But again, this is what I keep saying about, the retro classified, man. Like, this is what they should do. And yes, this is one of those things. Yeah, it'd be nice if the card, the file card was further down. Little things like that. Again, we're not going to get the exact same. And then we get this. And I'm interested in this figure. Although, again, another one. And I do have the snake eyes from the Blind Woodsman, the reaction. And this guy doesn't glow worth shit. But I did see Chris McLeod do it, and it looks like it actually glows. Now, they show it here. He's super bright. The one, again, Chris McLeod did it, and because he got a set early. And again, this is kind of one of the reasons why people are really nice to Brian Flynn. They can get early stuff, which is good. I mean, again, I just don't want to do that. Matthew says he says being mean for Ken, Ed, Tony, and myself. Well, I do my best not to say hi to Ken. I agree. Red glowing is never super bright, but I did see Chris McLeod's, and it did look like it was actually glowing. But they also told me that that reaction one glowed, and again, I could throw that thing 10 feet from the fucking sun, and the thing would barely glow. It would also melt too. But if it doesn't glow, and I still have him sitting up there, he's sitting right there. It looks like it's the same color, but they do use different types of plastic. So hopefully this one will glow better. But I am interested in this one. But yeah, red glow. We'll see. Wait, Ken is here? I can. Apology says, I'm a sucker for glow in the dark. And there's the file card. And that's it. That's all the slides. That's everything. Woo! I need a quick breather. So before we get into the topic, there's a show tomorrow. Because I'm so mean to this guy, I will promote his show on my show.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, their perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
All right, tune in tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check out Pop Blender and the guy I'm so mean to, Matthew Matson. Matthew will tell you how he's right about everything, and if you disagree, you're wrong. They'll also probably talk about the evil corporation that Disney is. Did that fill you guys in enough? And Matthew, drop a link to it. Ed, I don't know if you do a show on Tuesdays anymore. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it's on Wednesday. I don't really know anymore. I've lost track of everything. I just know that when Circle of Jerks moves to Wednesday night at 9:55 p.m., it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, I was going to say there's always a topic, but there's not always. Usually there's a topic. All corporations are evil. I don't know if I can disagree too much. I don't know if I can really disagree too much. Pop says it's okay. He's mean to me too, punk. He must get it from you. That's what happens when you take 2 Mondays off. I didn't take 2 Mondays. Oh, I mean, I didn't have 2 Mondays off. We had Punkathon, then I was on, then I went to AR, and then I was off. I didn't take 2 off in a row, but all right. So the topic is assembly required. I didn't get to talk about it. Talked about it a little bit on Circle of Jerks, and just so people know, Circle of Jerks is not my show. It is our show that we all do together. We are not associated or a spinoff of a Toy Kind of Mood, contrary to what some believe. We're not a spinoff of a Punk with Toys. We're not a spinoff of whatever Terry does. It is our own show, but it is on Baldy's channel, and Baldy is the one that creates it. So more than anything, it is really Baldy's channel. I know there are some people that were a little confused and thought that it was my show. It's not. There are people that think that it is a spinoff of a Toy Kind of Mood. It is not. It has nothing to do with the Toy Kind of Mood. So, just so you know, I did talk a little bit about assembly required there, but again, that it wasn't a show topic because it was just something that I did. Just like when Baldy went and did a couple of his shows, he talked about it. So, yes, it is where everyone gets a cookie. It's kind of like Cheers, except you don't get beers, you get cookies. A special cookie. MCR Spec got fired in all of the shows. Spec's firing. Sometimes when someone gets fired and you hire them for free, of course, it's sometimes the best things possible. We let Spec loose, and by letting Spec loose, we got Licky Baldy. Spec is given a lot to the channel, believe it or not. Tony says it's a spinoff of Tony's Fakes YouTube. There, I said it. Okay, junior lawyer. We all have cookies. Reach out to some if you want a taste. Mine are all downstairs. If you guys do want a Punk with Toys sticker or a Circle of Jerks sticker, shoot me a message at apunkwithtoys@gmail.com and I will I can get some out to you. Anyway, assembly required. I went there. Sherlock, not Sherlock. Sherlock really hounded me on it from Joe Fest. It's a 9-hour drive, shorter than Joe Fest. It's basically a day's worth of work. Driving to and from. It's a 2-day show. And I've never heard anything but good things about it. I didn't know the size of it. It is an extremely small show, but it is a wonderful networking show. If you're a vendor there, I would say it's a primarily 1/18th show. At least that's kind of what I saw there. I think this would be a perfect show for, let's say, Delta 17. But the networking is what Mikey said. Like, this is one we get to walk away from our booths, go see some of the other vendors, talk to some people, network. maybe make some connections, so we can do some sort of crossovers, different things like that. RoboSkull sponsors it, or Skeletron sponsors it. And by Skeletron, I mean Ben Conroy, the owner of Skeletron. And I talked to Ben a lot, and he said that this was the first show that I ever went to. He said, I drove from Minnesota to here, just got into the hobby, didn't know anyone, and it was the first assembly required. He said, I had a great time. And because of that, he goes, I want this to keep going on. They market it to kids. They have a coloring contest for kids. And every single kid that entered that coloring contest, whoever won got a RoboSkull. But every other kid got a prize. That means a lot to kids. There's an adult coloring contest also. And they won a RoboSkull. There was a kid search. There was an adult search for stuff. They did all kinds of stuff. Brian Sauer does a wonderful job of creating this. And it was a fun time. So here are the pictures. And I just kind of threw everything in. This was on the way there. I don't know why I threw this one in. So this was the pig. This was actually the first picture that I took when I got there. There's just a pig on the way to the skywalk. This is on the handicap. I just found a picture with the pig. It was pretty cool. This was outside. It was fucking beautiful. We drove down there. I drove down there Thursday and Friday. So the skywalk in Des Moines, Iowa, it is 4.1 miles of skywalk. So in the winter, you can travel through all the businesses, all the shops and everything without going outside. I wanted to walk it. I walked a few blocks and then I went down at the YMCA because it was like 70 degrees out. It was absolutely fucking beautiful. They said last year was like 30 and rainy and wet. Well, rainy and wet would make sense. Like 30 and like rainy. This was absolutely beautiful. I got to meet Spec. There was an EMS conference upstairs. This would have been perfect for Tony's Figs to come out there. I think this is the second year they said that it coincided with the EMS, so maybe next year Tony will decide to come. This is Mark to Toys. He also designs weapons for Valiverse, I believe. There's a lot of 3D printing. I actually bought the Chameleon off him. I have a couple other things that Greg bought and printed. Greg's bought a lot of stuff off him. If you haven't met Mark, he's absolutely awesome. I met him for the first time at the first Joe Fest. He recognized me, which was kind of shocking. So every time I see him, we stop, we talk a bit. Really, really nice guy. Yeah. Like Loki said, yeah, great guy. Why wouldn't you go outside? I'm not sure what you mean. Why did I walk the skywalk? Or why would you walk the skywalk when it's cold out? I wanted to see what the skywalk was. I wanted to see how the corridors went, and I just started walking. It was first thing in the morning. Like, the show wasn't even open yet. So I just wanted to see what the skywalk actually was because you don't really understand it. But yeah, when it's cold out, you don't want to be outside. But I walked a few blocks, and I was like, how do I get out of this? Because it is too nice to be inside. It was 70 in the 70s all day Friday. It was in the mid 60s on Saturday, but then it started cooling down. So when we left, I think it was like 50 degrees. It started getting more close to normal. Highest Me says, okay, so it was just cool. It was just a cool walkway thing. It's cool in the winter. And also you don't have to cross over streets because you're up on top of it. But in the winter, yeah. Because I mean, again, it's going to be 10 degrees. This way you can travel through all the shops. The parking garage connects to them. So it connects to all the different hotels. It's been there since 1981. And why other big cities, I mean, this is Des Moines, Iowa. Why Detroit hasn't done something like this, I have no idea. But it was cool because I didn't understand what this. I mean, I knew what the Skywalk was. It was explained to me by Adam, who I do the TV terminal with, because he lives there. But you don't really understand it till you're there. And when you're walking down, it's just cool to be in and be like, wow, this is something different. But after a while, I'm like, if I'm walking back to the hotel, I have to walk back to the hotel. I might as well walk outside because it was like in the, I think, mid 60s and the first thing in the morning. So that was the reason why I walked it, because I want to see what it was. All right. This is Plastic Battles. Paul, I spent a lot of time with Paul. If you're not watching Plastic Battles on his Thursday, he does Instagram. This guy is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to classified. Look at some of the stuff that he's doing. He does wonderful photography. I had him on Thursday with a friend. He drops a lot of hints on things that may be coming. And I got to see a lot of things. Got to find out a lot of things. So if you're not checking out Plastic Battles, you definitely want to. Paul and I went out to eat with the Finest. If you know what the Finest is, they are basically the 501st of G.I. Joe. So there's different groups all over the country. They had a whole, if you go back and you watch my walkthrough video, you'll see they have like they had a whole Dr. Mindbender's lab. I think it was Dr. Mindbender. But they had a whole lab, the Televipers, Vipers. It's just really cool. But they were good guys. This was a good restaurant when I went with them. When Tripwire and I went with Adam and his kids, we left because they didn't even like come over and ask us for our drinks. This is Brian Sauer. He is the promoter of Codename Iowa or Assembly Required. He does all the artwork, I believe. He does a lot of stuff for Chris for the Full Force. He also created Shark Eye's intro, if I am correct. It was pretty fun talking to him. The show has grown, and it is a small show. You can go back and look. I know Tripwire was, I believe it was Tripwire. We were talking. What is this like a third the size of Joe Fest? It's maybe, man, it's not even a fifth the size of Joe Fest. It's really that small. Joe Fest has a lot more, to be honest. But yeah, it's then again, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because you get to spend more time with certain people. But he kind of wants it to grow. But as him and I were talking, I go, everyone wants it to grow, but all those people don't have to put more work into it. And he was like, exactly. This is Mikey and John. I don't want to say Mikey and his dad because I feel like I've gotten to know John pretty damn well. John is his dad. Mikey is Mikey's dad is closer to our age than Mikey and everyone. But they do all their customs. You can watch Two Kooks. They do it every other week, I think, on a Sunday. I spent a good amount of time with them. Had a lot of fun with them. Got to know a lot. Talked to John a lot about call sign Longbow. I also talked to Troy, his partner. I feel completely different. Now. Again, this goes back to like criticizing how long it's taking call sign Longbow to come out. I talked to them. They're the owners. They explain what's going on and the reason why they show up at the shows. They don't want people to think that they've taken their money and ran. That's why they show up there. They also explain what's going on with the factories and why it's taking so long, why they just haven't repainted the ghost. If you want to know why the ghost hasn't been repainted, well, go look at the Skeletron figures and you can see that is the ghost. That is their design. It's a very interesting story, or a very interesting conversation on why they're doing certain things. But they want all their figures to come out before they start doing repaints because they think it's a bad look if they're just repainting the same figure over and over and over, because they're waiting on the manufacturing side or the tooling. Manufacturing's ready. The tooling is what needs to get done. Dude, MCR, go back and watch. I did a Thursday with a friend. The week that we were here, it was recorded. So unfortunately, that's why I hate the recording ones. Not a lot of people watch them. They like seeing the live ones. They can ask questions. Mikey talks about it, and he's like, he's an only child. He's like, my parents were kids when they had me. So his whole life, his dad's like 18 years older than him. He was into collecting, and so they had a really good relationship. And so his dad's passing all this on to him because my dad was a kid having a kid. So, but yeah. Sherlock, I think many of you guys have probably seen Sherlock before. He's the reason why I went more than anything, as he hounded me. Yes. That is the same shirt that Sherlock wears at Joe Fest. He wears it a lot. He literally wore another shirt the next day just to show me that he has other shirts than this. His nipples weren't as hard in the other one, but hey, what can I say? He was happy to see me. This is Rob, the owner of Skeletron. When people say that he is the nicest guy in the world, they're not wrong. He saw me just kind of standing by myself waiting, and he like came over and talked to me. And he knew who I was because we've conversed before. And I'm like, no, I'm just listening to music, just waiting for someone who's like, all right, as long as you're not just like sitting here all by yourself because you're sad. Like, not at all, man. Not at all. But then he saw me at breakfast, called me over, and we sat there and we talked to him and Sam, another guy that works at Skeletron. Nicest guy. Anyone, again, I guess people could always be different if you really got to know him, but from what I've met, everything that I've ever heard, if anyone has a problem with him, it's probably you. Just saying. His website is about to crash. You might not be wrong. You might not be wrong. I took this picture just because I need to get the assembly required in the back. And also it was I believe this was the cover with the thumbnail. David Warren Hernandez, who I met at Joe Fest 2024 because of Tony's Figs. So I was actually surprised to see him there. But it's great to catch up with him, man. Like, you kind of forget some of these people that, aren't at Joe Fest, I guess, every single year. But yeah, it was great to catch up with him. He spent a good amount of time with myself, Tony, I think Travis too, in 2024. So here we have a bunch of other people. Joe Fan, Sherlock, and Jason. I think it's Jason. He has no social media presence, but he dressed like Chuckles. He is all part of the Discord that I'm also part of that I never go on because I don't go on Discord. That is a great question. I am in every picture because. So this was also at the restaurant. So like they do a for Friday night, they do, I think it was $55. You get in early access to the show, and then you also get dinner, and it's like a buffet style at the restaurant right across. They do trivia. They gave us all these pins. And it just, again, it was just a blast, and you get to kind of move around and talk to everyone. So, Joe Fest is I'm sorry, it's not Joe Fan. It's Firefly. Sorry. It's not Joe Fan. It's Firefly. Firefly is the one with What's on Joe Mind. I'm also circling with my mouse like you guys can see and you can't. I meant Firefly. I don't know why I said Joe Fan. Joe Fan, I think you're lots of people. This was someone just left this at the hotel lobby when I sat down, and they're like, someone left a Yeti figure. So I just took a picture of it. They came back and took it. That's the only reason why I took this picture. I kind of forgot I threw everything in. So this is Sam, the other guy that works at Skeletron. He was, again, another nice guy. Again, these guys are awesome. Like, sorry, Joe Fan. Eventually, I'll get you right. We thought Joe Hunter told us he was Joe Fan, and I was not the only one. I am throwing Ed and Tony under the bus on that one too, because we all went. Who was that? Like, I think he said Joe Fan. I think that's Joe Fan 84. So this is the guy that gave me this. He gave me the Skeletron hat, which of course I'm not wearing, but because he was like, "What do you need, man?" Because I sold the Roboskull to Tripwire right here. All right. So this is Joe on Joe. You can see how small I am, how short I am. So this is Mike from What's on Joe Mind. They're wearing the same shirt. The one with the badge is Joe on Joe. He does an actual podcast, no video whatsoever. And then we have Mike from What's on Joe Mind. Yeah, no, where am I? Like, I knew these. Like, I was at dinner talking to them probably for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We sat together. I know they're bigger than me. Until I took this picture, I did not realize just how much bigger they were than me. Sean Forrester. Again, the video that I did on Friday, that caused him to come on down. So that was cool. I hope there were a few other people. I know there was someone else that mentioned that they watched the video in the morning, but Sean literally watched the video and he said, "You know what? I work down there. I've never been. Why not?" So I thought that was pretty cool. He showed me his Transformer crossover customs, which look amazing. I don't hate Transformers. I just hate talking about them. I do. I do. I'm not going to lie. So this is, I can't remember his name, but he is Nexus. Where's it at? Oh, it's right over there. He has a Kickstarter. I need to remember everyone's name. I can't. Not right now. But he has a Kickstarter. I don't know why I can't think of his name. But anyway, cool to meet him. I met him at Joe Fest. We chatted back then. He sent me like a whole thing, 2 different figures unpainted. And unfortunately, this Kickstarter didn't pass. But I was like, dude, hit me up and I'll get you on the show and we can see what we can do to try and promote it a little bit better. So they're going to do it again. Patrick Stewart from the Full Force. He said he's a short one on the Full Force, which is kind of shocking. I didn't realize Adam Riches, who I've only saw him sitting down at Joe Fest, is very tall. And is that Cooter's Garage? I think there's Cooter's Garage in the back. I think over his shoulder is Cooter's Garage. Joe Fan said, next is I back that. They look fantastic. Yeah, they do. Matthew, come on. I want to say Escobar, but that doesn't seem right. It seems like someone else named Escobar. Oh, yes. That really bad stuff. Those really bad figures. All right. So this is the spider fucker. This is Tripwire. I'm glad I got him to waste his money or spend his money on a Robo Skull, as he sent fucking spiders to me. Although he donated a lot for the giveaway, he donated a lot during the Punkathon, so I appreciate that. I do not appreciate spiders. I should probably call. Hold on 1 second. See, this is where my daughter needs to be here. All right. Yes, he's a spider fucker. All right. So this guy here, this is the guy that sent the spiders.
Okay.
You remember the spiders?
Yeah.
He's the one who did it.
What is he scared of?
I don't know what he's scared of.
Ask him. Figure it out.
It's not Pablo Escobar. He would not need the Kickstarter. He would not need the money for a Kickstarter. No, they weren't actual spiders. I do that would have been no. Tripwire says, I hope she kept some of the spiders. No. We threw the box away right away. It went right to the trash. I told you. When you told me that there was 2 boxes in there to ship out the crystal balls, I was like, I threw that in the garbage. Anyway, this is one of the most polite big guys you will ever meet in your entire life.
Polite?
In real, in person.
So he's just fake behind your back?
I don't know. He said he was. He said he wasn't always, but I can tell you he was like super polite, super kind. It was a pleasure to meet him, dude. Like we hung out all day on Saturday, and I was glad that I know it was a 2-hour drive. I think he left at. What did you leave at like 10? I think we finished up at like 10 eating, and you had to drive 2 hours home, and then set up your blinds and everything for deer hunting. So there is Cooter's Garage, if you can't tell because he has Cooter. And oddly enough, he's not called Cooter because of the Dukes of Hazzard, but because somebody's pneumatic drill broke and he put it back together and they called him Cooter. I think that's what it was. It was the pneumatic drill or that it broke and then you put it back together really quick. I'm like, wait, you're not called Cooter for the Dukes of Hazzard. So what just happened?
I take my contact out. My other one slips out of my hand. They both go in the same compartment. So I'll never know if I have the right one in again.
Oh, when you can't see, you'll know.
I don't know. everyone should know that.
That
I
can
can on the sink first.
see. I got the story right.
What?
I'm talking, but I'm literally like talking, and right now people are like, "Dude, you are going on for so long."
Yeah, I'm stopping you.
See, I remember the story though. This is why I can't remember stuff. She tells me I have to push it out so I can remember stuff
Wow.
that I meet at fest.
Wow.
um, yeah. See, Tripwire says War Chest and Cooter are cool as fuck too, but that punk guy, good lord, hey, I'm kind of a big deal. There's War Chest. He is a big deal. All right. And man, there was a girl that was, man, she was trying to get in his pants. There was a drunk girl that was all over him. She was the only person that could shut. She's the only person that could shut War Chest up. All right. If you guys think I talk a lot, War Chest talks way more than I do. But the only person that could shut him up was that EMS girl. He shut up so fucking quickly. Matter of fact, the whole table did. There is Adam, who I do the TV terminal with. He lives down there. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to his house and have dinner with him and his family, which was the plan. But unfortunately, I was not leaving my $20 a day parking. Here we all went out to eat. So let's just say, Tripwire, would you agree? Adam's daughter runs that house. She was like on everything. No, like, wow. His son, for $2, ate a spoonful of ketchup. And let's just say he had no problem with it. I didn't tell you this. When I walked, like when his wife came and picked him up, and I walked there, he was telling his mom about how, like, for $2 he did that, and she said like, wow, did they think you wouldn't? Something like that. Like, she was not shocked that he did it at all. Worcester says, I can't believe she kept talking. I was not nice to her at all. She called you a gremlin. She called you a gremlin when she got aggravated with you. She was like, I'm not talking to you now, gremlin. Have you ever been referred to as a gremlin? The fact is that she came back again is what was shocking. This was what I said to Tony, because Tony wouldn't stop telling us how he was given a Skeletron hat. Well, guess what? You're not the only one. This is Jason, who he's in the Hawaiian shirts, and someone found a Chuckles shirt. So, and I think we're gonna get the picture of him. I have to add in a missile. He took a picture so I can add in a missile. I just have to add it in. And there is I don't know where Darren is. So Darren does this. Hey, how much is that? How much is that scrap iron? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, could you check? He goes, it's probably out of my price range anyway. So they have all these posters. This is nice. This is really nice. Nice media that it's on. It's $35. And he's like, oh, I'm like, dude, you want me just to fucking get it for you? Like, Darren, just speak up. Say, hey, do you mind picking that up for me? And then we'll figure out. Yeah. I tell War Chest, I go fucking get it. You owe it to him for fucking him over on Tuco Viper. Because he's pissed at you. Go fucking get it for him. So he went and bought it for him, and I guess you sent it to him. And the posters are awesome. Like, you can't roll it. Like, you couldn't put it in a roll and send it. It had to be sent nice and flat. All the artwork is awesome. So now he can't be mad about Tuco Viper. So here was our this is a picture that we took. Sherlock's oldest son took it. That is Sherlock's younger son right there. And then, oh, wait a minute. Oh, this was out. We went out to eat. There's another picture in there that. So this was that zombie burger. It's all zombies. Everything is zombies there. They got statues of zombies. Everything is some sort of zombie like on the menu. And we got John, Mikey, Tripwire, who is Jeremy. That's his name. Plastic Battles and War Chest. And again, we had a blast, man. Like, seriously, that's such a fucking good time. And then I did this one. Just for Darren, who's not even here today. But there he is. I said there's gonna be scrap iron. And I think Sherlock's son saw me do, like, I was showing the picture and he saw it over my shoulder, and I think he thought I was like trying to cut him out, but I wasn't. I was just trying to put Scrap Iron's head on someone. Anyway, there it is. That was assembly required. I know it went a little long, 3.5 hours. Wow. Cooter's Garage says all the artwork was done by Brian Sauer. Yes, he does a lot. Again, he puts a lot into this. Again, it's really nice. Yes, the milkshakes at Zombie Burgers have great names, and they were really good too. Oh, yeah. I thought the Firefly one was really good. So anyway, my opinion on Assembly Required is it is a very small show, and I would definitely go back again. Everyone was really cool there. Having an understanding of how it is now, just like Joe Fest. The first year you go to Joe Fest. Now, that was a little bit different because I was meeting up with a bunch of different people. Tony, Travis. And also, I wouldn't go to Joe Fest 24. I didn't go there on Thursday. I went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's house, which is Aaron the Toy Enhancer, where I knew Crow was going to be there, and then Loki and Dave also showed up, and Dave died. Powerade saved him, and then I left like first thing in the morning on Friday to head to Joe Fest because Tony, Travis, and Baldy were already there. So we kind of already had an idea. We were already meeting with people. I knew certain people were going to be there. Sherlock wasn't coming in till Friday. I knew War Chest was coming in at some point, but I knew he was having dinner with his cousin. And Paul was like really, he was the first one that I think hung out with. Mikey and his dad, we went out to dinner, then Paul. So I really wasn't sure, but now that I have a better understanding going in on Thursday, it'd be a completely different feel because I got to know some of the people that are going to be there all the time. So just like Joe Fest, but Joe Fest, there's so many more people, but now you kind of get the layout of it. Joe Fest, you pretty much wake up in the morning, and you're down in the lobby again. We go out for breakfast. There's 2 restaurants right across the street. So just kind of having a better feel for it. if I went next year, if I'm able to go next year, I'm spending a lot of time during that whole Joe Fest vacation. But yeah, I said hi to Ken there, even though Ken was not there. So no one get mad at me. I did say hi to Ken, although he wasn't there. Yeah, Skeletron sponsored it. I don't know if it would ever cost anything, but Skeletron makes sure to sponsor it because they want this they want the show to continue. They want kids to be involved because they haven't, they know that the kids are the ones that will carry this on when, we stop going to shows, when we pass on. And hopefully it's not for a long time, but you want that. They want that experience. So for me, this was a lot of fun. I'm not going to compare it to Joe Fest because it's too small. There's not going to be nearly as many people that we can associate with and hang out with, right? That's where you just, again, there's so many more people at Joe Fest. It's a completely different experience. But hanging out with a lot of people that I met at Joe Fest, I think I convinced Plastic Battles to go to Joe Fest. I think I get Tripwire to go to Joe Fest, or at least to book his room. Well, see, that's the thing. I can't do SDCC next, like 2026, because of my vacation. I'm hoping that if my daughter is still living in San Diego in 2027, then I can fly out there, crash at her and her fiance's apartment, and go there, because where she works, they do something outside there. She does something outside there, so she could just drop me off. I really want to experience SDCC. That is one that is definitely, on my bucket list, if possible, to go. And again, if my daughter's there, it means I get to go spend time with her, and then go there. But again, like, that's one of those ones where it's so big. I think you want to have at least one person that you're going to be able to hang out with the majority of the time, because from all that I can see, it's very large. And I don't think you really want to wander around by yourself the whole time. I mean, I would. It wouldn't be the first time I do something like that. With Joe Fest, again, it is a Joe community. But I feel like at this point in the channel, that I'd probably know. I mean, I already know there's a lot of people that go there, but there'd probably be other people that would notice. They would know who I am, that I could mingle with, I guess, is the thing. Anyway, I'm done. Tim H says, how do you go through a full day if you end up buying large pieces? Sounds like hell. Can't drop off in a car. Probably will be stolen. Oh yeah, that I don't get. Like, yeah, that would be that's what's great about Joe Fest. It was great about Assembly Required. Although Assembly Required, you'd have to walk. You don't have to walk that far. But you'd have to walk back to the hotel. You are connected to the hotel. I think Legion's Con, if you're staying at the hotel, but I don't know how you buy something that's very large at SDCC. You're going to be walking around with it the whole time. Somebody would have to that's been there would kind of have to explain that one, but yeah. Todd C says they have FedEx on site overcharge on shipping. Bob Blender says Southern Choir looks cool, a little too small for me to go. From Nashville, though, SDC is what I like to go to, but I've heard it's changed a lot since MCU became a thing. Yeah, but again, I think it's the experience. And again, like AR may seem too small, but if you're going there with somebody or you're meeting up with somebody that you know you can spend time with and not get annoyed with, I think it's a good time. I mean, it goes back to what I said. Like, if you told me that in the middle of Nebraska, all of us are meeting and that's our new Joe Fest, and it's just going to be 3 days of hanging out, I'm cool with it. Like, that's truly what it is. It's not so much the show as much as certain people getting to meet and hang out with. So, but yeah. And thank you very much. Fun Stuff Punk. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for watching. I mean, again, like, that's half of what like this show is, man. Like, or all these toy shows. Like, no one in our area cares. Like, no one, most people in our circle of real life people we see don't give two shits. SCC says is a shitload of walking in a huge mob, not as much fun. It's something different though, right? Something different, for sure. So anyway, and then so 8-hour parking wasn't far from the show. No, not at all. Now you could actually park in there. Yeah, well, that is true. Well, if you drove, but again, if you fly in, and a lot of people do fly in, then you have to figure out where you're gonna take it back. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for all sticking around for 3.5 hours. I know there's not a lot of news going on right now, so it's kind of like, hey, we got to find something to talk about. This happened. I like to share my experience. I like to get other people to go, even if I don't go next year. It's a show well worth going. Everyone there was super polite. It's nice when you get to see actual creators of the show, like of toys. They're doing their thing. Customizers like Mikey and his dad. Again, it just makes it a lot of fun. But I'm going to get out of here. Tune in tomorrow where I will be on Circle of Jerks over on Baldy's channel. If you don't know where that is, look up Baldy Locks Reviews. You will see it. Thursday is Thanksgiving. There is no Thursday with a friend. Friday is the Black Friday giveaway. Go over there. Put your name in. If you're a channel member, you're already going to be in. The rules are right there. Just follow them. And then right after, if you're a channel member, we will be doing a Punk's Pit because, no, I'm already there. Everyone have a wonderful night, and I will see you all tomorrow.